After breaking off the engagement, I married my fiancée's aunt. In my previous life, you disdained me. After rebirth, I became your uncle-in-law. On the day of the engagement banquet, the fiancé was nowhere to be found. Having just been reborn, Zhuang Yan knew that at this moment, Xia Wan was accompanying her, white moonlight, and tending to him with care. Recalling how he ended up in his previous life abandoned by all and suffering from late-stage stomach cancer, Zhuang Yan decisively announced the annulment of the engagement, drawing a clear line between himself and Xia Wan. Everyone thought Zhuang Yan was just putting on a show of strength, but 3 days later, they were stunned to see him appear on a matchmaking TV show. The aloof movie queen openly showed her affection for him, a wealthy heiress went to extreme lengths for him, but the most shocking moment of all, his ex-fiancée's aunt slipped into his room in the dead of night. Chapter 1, Rebirth and Annulment. Dad, Mom has Uncle Jiu to take care of her from now on. You can go in peace. They say hearing is the last sense to fade before death, and it turns out to be true. Zhuang Yan died at the age of 55, killed by his own adopted son, who personally pulled out his oxygen tube. 55, not too young, not too old. People who heard the news would probably just sigh and say, what a pity. After all, he was just a few years away from retirement, and now, all those years of paying into his pension were wasted. In a daze, Zhuang Yan felt his soul separate from his body, floating above the hospital bed, looking down at his gaunt, emaciated frame. People who have cancer already look terrible, and with the added disfigurement from a car accident, even he found himself unsightly. After pulling out the oxygen tube, his adopted son didn't show a trace of sadness. Instead, he smiled. Zhuang Yan chuckled bitterly. He had always been disliked in life. His parents never showed him love, raising him with beatings and harsh discipline. The son he had painstakingly raised treated him with indifference and, in the end, even pulled out his oxygen tube. Not even his wife of 30 years was by his side at the moment of his death. He had lived a life of utter isolation, betrayed by everyone he once loved. Looking back on his life, he was filled with regret. He had never lived for himself. His whole existence had been about pleasing others and conforming to expectations, making him little more than a pathetic doormat, a mere background character in his own story. If there were a chance to do it all over again, if there really were such a thing as reincarnation, he vowed he would never live like that again. Zhuang Yan, why isn't Xia Wan here yet? Did something happen on the way? It's already 11 o'clock. Call her and hurry her up. A familiar voice echoed in his ears. It was his mother, Tang Jing. Zhuang Yan froze, staring at her in shock. The Tang Jing in his memory was wrinkled and grey-haired, and she had passed away 10 years ago. But now, she looked so young. Seeing him dazed, Tang Jing frowned in displeasure. I'm talking to you. What are you daydreaming about? Pull yourself together. This engagement banquet must not be ruined. Zhuang Yan glanced around. Everything was familiar: the setting, the people, and even his own body, which was suddenly full of vitality and sensation. Realization struck him like a bolt of lightning. He had been reborn. And he had returned to the day of his engagement to Xia Wan. Due to Xia Wan's absence, the guests were growing restless. Tang Jing's face grew darker by the second, her gaze toward Zhuang Yan filled with nothing but disgust. In high society, most of the guests in attendance were influential figures. If Xia Wan didn't show up today, it would be as if she had stomped on the Zhuang family's dignity in front of everyone. Tang Jing's gaze turned sharp. Call Xia Wan. Find out what's going on and get her here, now. Zhuang Yan didn't make the call. He knew she wouldn't come. Instead, he calmly walked toward the reception hall. Where are you going? Tang Jing called out, her voice harsh. I told you to call Xia Wan. Did you not hear me? She's not coming, Zhuang Yan replied flatly. Tang Jing's face twisted in anger. How do you know she's not coming? Did something happen to her? Of course he knew. After all, in his previous life, he had waited for her from morning till night. Then, he saw her on the trending topics of social media at a hospital 300 kilometers away, celebrating Jiu Qian's birthday. Jiu Qian, Xia Wan's, white moonlight, and their uncle Jiu, his adopted son, had mentioned on his deathbed. That day in his past life, Zhuang Yan had swallowed his pride for the sake of the family's reputation. He apologized to everyone on behalf of Xia Wan, covering for her absence and making excuses for her. Later that night, When he saw Xia Wan and Ji Qian's intimate photos trending on social media, the truth hit him like a sledgehammer. The whole internet mocked him as a third wheel who couldn't even keep his own fiancée. The humiliation lingered for the rest of his life. Even when he reached 50, people still brought up the scandal and laughed at him. But this time, things would be different. Xia's celebrating Ji Qian's birthday, Zhuang Yan said plainly. Xia's 300 kilometers away. Naturally, she wouldn't make it here. Tang Jing was momentarily stunned before she flew into a rage. You can't even keep an eye on a woman, and you call yourself a man? Useless trash. Look at all the guests here. Do you realize how much you've embarrassed our family today? If you don't want to be embarrassed, call off the engagement, Zhuang Yan said calmly. Her eyes widened in disbelief. What did you just say? I said, call off the engagement. I'm not marrying her, Zhuang Yan repeated, his voice firm. Tang Jing's face twisted in fury. If you dare annul this engagement, I'll disown you as my son. Zhuang Yan smirked. She had used that same threat countless times in his previous life. This time, he replied with a kind smile, all right, auntie. May I go announce the annulment now? Tang Jing's eyes widened in shock. She had never seen him like this before. Before she could process it, Zhuang Yan, standing at a commanding 187 centimeters, reached out and lightly pushed her aside. She stumbled backward, watching his figure walk away. For the first time, she felt that he was a complete stranger. Zhuang Yan walked with ease. He looked at his reflection in the elevator door, tall, lean, and radiant with health. His complexion was clear, free of wrinkles or dark circles. There was no cancer and no signs of a life filled with suffering. He gently touched his stomach and smiled. After this, I'm going to treat myself to hot pot. The banquet hall was abuzz with chatter. Where's Xia Wan? Is she ditching the engagement? The fiancé's gone missing at the engagement banquet. The Zhuang family is going to lose face big time. Poor Zhuang Yang. He has been chasing Xia Wan for 3 years. After all that effort, she just disappears. Honestly, the Zhuang family is beneath the Xia family. If not for old man Xia's relationship with Zhuang's father, this marriage wouldn't have happened in the first place. If I were Xia Wan, I'd run too. Zhuang Yan stepped out of the elevator, walking straight to the stage. The murmurs grew louder. Is he going to call off the engagement? Impossible. If he breaks it off, it'll destroy the Zhuang family's business ties with the Xia family. Then he'll have to marry Xia Wan, knowing she's in love with another man. That's pathetic. If it were me, I'd call it off right now. Zhuang Yang strode confidently up to the stage, his every step filled with purpose. The crowd fell silent, their gazes fixed on him. He adjusted his tie, rolled his shoulders, and took the microphone from the host. Thank you all for attending this event. I'll keep it short. Xia Wan couldn't make it today due to other commitments. I have something to announce. Effective immediately, I am calling off my engagement with Xia Wan. She doesn't care about me, and I don't care about her. From this day forward, we will go our separate ways as man and woman. The room fell into stunned silence. The engagement was off. This wasn't how it was supposed to go. Wealthy families didn't just call off engagements like that. There were procedures, statements, and PR to handle the fallout. But Zhuang Yang didn't care. The spotlight cast a soft glow on him, his handsome face calm, steady, and unapologetic. His confidence radiated like a star. Before anyone could recover, Zhuang Yang had already stepped off the stage. His back was straight, his gait unyielding, and his aura dazzling. This time, he wasn't going to be a background character in anyone's story. Chapter 2, Zhuang Yang leaves. As soon as he left, the crowd erupted. Some people believed Zhuang Yang was acting impulsively and would eventually swallow his pride to apologize and plead with the Xia family once his anger subsided. Their assumptions weren't baseless. After all, everyone in their social circle had witnessed Zhuang Yang chasing after Xia Wan for 3 whole years. He was always at her beck and call, doing whatever she asked of him. He was as obedient as a dog. How could someone like that end an engagement so suddenly and resolutely? Moreover, considering the cooperative relationship between the Zhuang and Xia families, it was unlikely that the engagement would truly be called off. The Xia family didn't care much about it, but for the Zhuang family, it was a different story. They were heavily dependent on their partnership with the Xia family. If the Xia family decided to terminate their collaboration, the Zhuang family would suffer massive financial losses. The shareholders would undoubtedly stir up trouble, and Zhuang Yan's position as the heir might even be at risk. For a rich second-generation heir, losing the support of his family meant losing everything. Could Zhuang Yan really bear to give up such a vast fortune? The bolder he acted now, the more miserable he would be later. The Xia family wasn't one to let things slide so easily. Meanwhile, Zhuang Yan went straight to the parking lot, got into his car, and drove away. As soon as he sat down, his father, Zhuang Zhongming, called. "Zhuang Yang? Come back right now and apologize to everyone immediately." "Why should I apologize? What did I do wrong? Shouldn't Xia Wan be the one to apologize?" Zhuang Yang replied calmly. Hearing this, Zhuang Zhongming's fury erupted. "What right do you have to demand an apology from Xia Wan? Let me warn you, we can't afford to offend the Xia family. You'd better listen to me and behave yourself. You're already 23 years old, not a child anymore. You should think about the bigger picture. Why didn't you discuss this with us before announcing the cancellation of the engagement? Do you even respect your parents anymore? You've never made things easy for us since you were a kid. Your mom is so angry she fainted. Do you want to kill her with anger? If she fainted, she should go to the hospital. Telling me about it won't help," Zhuang Yang said bluntly. "How dare you talk to me like that? If you don't come back today, then get out of this house and never come back." "All right, I'll make sure to pack quickly." With that, Zhuang Yang hung up the phone and, before long, blacklisted his father's number to avoid further distractions while driving. When he arrived at his apartment, he immediately started packing his belongings. The apartment wasn't too large, a 3-bedroom, 1 living room setup with 2 bathrooms. He had shared it with Xia Wan. Although their marriage was one of convenience between 2 wealthy families, Zhuang Yang had genuinely pursued Xia Wan for 3 years. Over time, her initial cold attitude toward him had warmed slightly, and they had begun living together like friends. While they weren't particularly close, at least they could coexist peacefully. But that peace was entirely due to Zhuang Yang's patience and accommodation. In their year of cohabitation, Zhuang Yang handled all the big and small tasks by himself, practically playing the roles of butler, maid, and cook all at once. Xia Wan disliked takeout, so Zhuang Yang taught himself how to cook. Since she had a mild case of OCD, he kept the apartment spotless. Xia Wan didn't like to deal with trivial matters herself, but also didn't want him to be too hands-on, so she left everything for him to handle. For example, he washed her clothes by hand. Not only did they have to be clean, but they also couldn't have a single wrinkle. Once dried, they had to be scented with a fragrance she liked. Her dietary preferences were even more exacting. She had a picky palate, rejecting many types of food. After extensive research and countless attempts, Zhuang Yang finally figured out her tastes. No matter how tired he was after work, he would still prepare meals at home. They say marriage requires the effort of 2 people, but in his relationship with Xia Wan, it was all on him. The thought of his past life flashed in his mind. He recalled the medical report he received. He had advanced stomach cancer along with heart and lung failure. Practically every internal organ was riddled with disease. He had taken care of Xia Wan, managed the household, and raised their children. He even ensured his elderly parents passed away peacefully. The only person he had never cared for was himself. Zhuang Yang didn't have many personal belongings. As he packed his daily essentials, he realized most of his things came in pairs, matching items meant for him and Xia Wan. He only took his clothes and a few valuable items with him, while tossing out everything related to their couple life, like matching mugs and slippers. He took less with him than he threw away. Zhuang Yan contacted a recycling lady from the apartment's community group chat and called her to collect the unwanted items. Things he had spent tens of thousands of yuan on were now worth barely 200 yuan. Before leaving, he glanced at the engagement ring on his finger. Opening the box, he gazed at the proposal ring that was supposed to go on Xia Wan's finger. Without hesitation, he tossed it into the trash. As soon as he let go of the ring, the weight that had been crushing his shoulders suddenly disappeared. A genuine smile spread across his face. "Goodbye, Xia Wan," he said softly. Turning away, Zhuang Yang dragged his suitcase behind him and left without looking back. At the hospital, Out of nowhere, Xia Wan felt a sudden sense of unease. Her heart skipped a beat, and she instinctively reached for her phone, only to realize it wasn't there. "Looking for your phone?" asked Ji Chen, who was lying on the hospital bed. It was only then that Xia Wan remembered she had given her phone to Ji Chen earlier so she could focus on keeping him company. She had even put it on Do Not Disturb mode. "If you want your phone back, I'll give it to you. I won't stop you if you want to leave either," Ji Chen said. Xia Wan shook her head. "I just wanted to check the time." Ji Chen glanced at his own phone. It's almost 12 o'clock. If she had come to the hospital today, she would probably be at the engagement banquet right now, making rounds with Zhuang Yan to toast the guests. Her decision to come to the hospital had been spontaneous. It wasn't her intention to stand him up. At 8 a.m., she received a call from Ji Chen's agent, saying that Ji Chen had been injured on set while filming a wire stunt. Upon hearing this, she immediately rushed to the hospital. Fortunately, Ji Chen's injury wasn't serious, just a strained ligament. Still, he had to remain in the hospital for a few days to rest. Xia Wan had initially planned to check in on him and leave, but since it was a 300-kilometer drive back home, it would take at least 3 hours to return. Plus, it was Ji Chen's birthday. Without much thought, Xia Wan decided to stay. It was just an engagement banquet, not a wedding. With her family and Zhuang Yan there, it would be fine. She figured that when she returned tonight, she would have a proper talk with Zhuang Yan. She believed he would understand her. When it was time for their wedding, she would make up for it. Xia Wan's thoughts were simple. Based on her understanding of Zhuang Yan, he was gentle, accommodating, and never argued with her. No matter what she did, he never blamed her. Everyone around her claimed that Zhuang Yan was deeply in love with her. She didn't like calling him a simp, but had to admit that his devotion was why she agreed to marry him in the first place. After all, living with him for a year had been comfortable, so she didn't mind extending that lifestyle into marriage. By noon, lunch had arrived. Her assistant had ordered takeout from a highly rated restaurant. Xia Wan took a bite but put down her chopsticks. "Doesn't he taste good?" Ji Chen asked. "No, I'm just not hungry," she replied. But deep down, she knew it wasn't about being hungry. It was simply that no food tasted as good as Zhuang Yan's cooking. Chapter 3, The Runaway Fiancé. "I want to check my phone." Ji Chen pretended not to hear and continued eating his meal in silence. Xia Wan, who was usually impatient, always showed her gentlest side to Ji Chen. She coaxed him, "I just want to see who messaged me. Don't worry, no matter what it says, I won't reply. I promised to stay with you for your birthday, and I always keep my word." Ji Chen was easy to coax. After staring at her for a while, he still handed over the phone. After all, it was already past midnight. Even if Xia Wan really wanted to go back, by the time she arrived, the wedding banquet would have already ended. As soon as she got her phone, she saw a flood of missed calls and unread messages. Her friends, parents, and a whole host of relatives had all contacted her, everyone except Zhuang Yan. Xia Wan had not told Zhuang Yan that she would be absent from the wedding today. She had expected him to be worried and flood her phone with calls and messages, but there was not a single one. Her parents were worried, fearing something had happened to her, which is why they kept calling. But Zhuang Yan? Did he not care at all? Logically, a person like Zhuang Yan shouldn't matter much to her. Whether he sent a message or not shouldn't affect her mood. But for some reason, she felt an emptiness inside. Even the food she'd just swallowed seemed to churn uncomfortably in her stomach. Xia Wan did not dwell on it too much. After all, her marriage to Zhuang Yan was already a done deal. Besides, Zhuang Yan adored her. He would never make a big deal out of something like this. Even if he did, so what? She could handle him. But deep down, an inexplicable unease lingered. She couldn't pinpoint what exactly was making her feel this way. After finishing the meal with Ji Chen, Xia Wan peeled a piece of fruit for him and brewed him a cup of floral tea. To be served personally by a pampered heiress like Xia Wan, even with simple tasks like these, made Ji Chen feel deeply satisfied. Xia Wan was the woman he had set his sights on, and he would never allow her to marry another man. Once Ji Chen fell asleep for his afternoon nap, Xia Wan slipped away. She called over her assistant and driver, her voice low as she asked, "Has anyone called to ask about me?" The driver took out his phone and showed her the call log for the day. Xia Wan scanned it carefully, but Zhuang Yan's name was still not there. Not wanting to alert her parents, she secretly called a friend instead, hoping to find out the situation at the hotel. Her heart tensed when she mentioned Zhuang Yan. As soon as the call connected, her friend's panicked voice blurted out, "Wan, something big happened. Zhuang Yan just called off the engagement." Xia Wan was stunned, her mind momentarily blank. "What do you mean, called off the engagement? You didn't show up today," so Zhuang Yan announced in front of everyone that he was ending the engagement. "He even said something about how you have no feelings for him, and he has none for you. From now on," he declared, "you'll each go your separate ways." "And what about his parents? Didn't they try to stop him?" Xia Wan knew Zhuang Yan's family far too well. There was no way they would allow him to break off an engagement with the Xia family. Zhuang Yan left right after he made the announcement. His parents stayed behind to apologize profusely to everyone. Judging by their reaction, it's clear the Zhuang family doesn't want to break the engagement. Zhuang Yan probably didn't have the guts to disobey his family, especially since, without them, he has nothing. But honestly, even if he really calls off the engagement, it's no big deal. The Zhuang family needs the Xia family more than the other way around. Besides, you never really liked him, right? If he walks away, that just means you can find someone better. If you ask me, good riddance. Only Xia Wan knew the truth. It would be almost impossible to find someone better than Zhuang Yan. The spoiled young heirs of this social circle were all too familiar to her. Arrogant, self-centered men were everywhere. Zhuang Yan was one of the rare exceptions. If a man was as obedient as he wasn't as handsome. If he was as handsome, he didn't have as much money. And even if he had money, he wasn't as thoughtful or devoted as Zhuang Yan. No one else could cook for her, clean up after her, or cater to her every whim like Zhuang Yan did. Not even Ji Chen came close. Her heart felt like it was being gnawed at by ants. Her friend was still on the other end, mocking Zhuang Yan, but Xia Wan only caught snippets of the conversation. What did Zhuang Yan mean when he said he had no feelings for her? Back when he was chasing after her, his devotion was obvious. No matter where she was or what she needed, he was there. How could he say he had no feelings for her now? Xia Wan didn't believe it. Her friends didn't believe it. Admittedly, she had done Zhuang Yan wrong today. Leaving him alone at the engagement banquet had humiliated him. She thought about it and decided that when she got home, she would buy him a gift to smooth things over. After all, she had no intention of calling off the engagement. "All right, I've got things to do here. Let us talk later," she said to her friend. Her friend asked playfully, "Are you with Ji Chen right now?" "Yeah," Xia Wan replied casually. "You two are such a pity. If not for Ji Chen's family background, you and he would be perfect for each other. Honestly, it's your grandfather's fault. It's the modern age, and he still insists on these archaic ideas about equal social status in marriage. Compared to Ji Chen, Zhuang Yang is far inferior. In every way." Her friend's words stirred a faint sense of annoyance in Xia Wan. She didn't want to hear anyone criticize Zhuang Yang. But she also didn't offend him. She wanted to ask her friend for more details about him, but she worried it would seem like she cared too much. Her heart was in turmoil. Eventually, she ended the call, her tone cold. "I have other things to do. Let us talk later." After hanging up, Xia Wan leaned against the wall. She picked up her phone several times, then put it back down. On the screen was Zhuang Yang's number. She hesitated for a long time but, in the end, didn't call him. She figured Zhuang Yang was just throwing a tantrum. He would come around once he calmed down. Their engagement was not a casual relationship that could be broken off so easily. This was a marriage between two prominent families, with intertwined interests far beyond mere emotions. How could he call it off on a whim? Xia Wan couldn't help but feel annoyed. Why did he have to be so impulsive and thoughtless? Why didn't he consider her position before making such a mess? Ji Chen woke up from his nap. Neither of them mentioned her engagement. Xia Wan felt unsettled but resisted the urge to check her phone in front of him. At 6 p.m., Ji Qian's assistant arrived with a birthday cake. Although it was Ji Qian's birthday, he had chosen a cake flavor that Xia Wan liked. There were 2 candles in the shape of the numbers 2 and 4. It was Ji Qian's 24th birthday. Xia Wan lit the candles and urged him, "Make a wish." Ji Qian closed his eyes and said, "I wish that Xia Wan will be happy every day and that she'll be with me on every birthday for the rest of my life." Xia Wan, who was midway through singing "Happy Birthday," stopped. She met his gaze and said, "If you say your wish out loud, it won't come true." "Do you really believe that?" he asked. "I don't. This wish wasn't impossible. It depended entirely on Xia Wan's choice. If she couldn't even indulge him on his birthday, it would be too cold-hearted." Ji Qian cut a piece of cake and placed it on her plate. "You didn't eat much at lunch. You should be hungry by now." "Not really," she replied. Her heart was too heavy to notice her hunger. Even the cake tasted bland. Xia Wan ate a single cherry from the cake. The sweet, juicy burst of flavor filled her mouth, but it felt like chewing wax. Her mind was preoccupied with one thought: how to face Zhuang Yan when she got home. Chapter 4, Fiancé Escapes 2. This can even make it to the trending search list. Let me see. Ji Qian stretched out his hand. Zhuang Yan intentionally or unintentionally glanced at Xia Wan, who was not involved in the matter, and handed the phone to Ji Qian. "It's okay that you are on the hot search, but the key is that Miss Xia has been implicated." Someone posted Miss Xia online, saying that she was absent from the engagement party and came for you. Look at the comments of netizens, there are pictures and the truth. It's too late to do emergency public relations now. When Xia Wan heard her name, her expression changed. She took out her cell phone and checked it. Sure enough, the hot search about Ji Qian was on the hot search list, and it was in the prominent first position. Newly promoted young actor injured during filming, rumored girlfriend accompanies him on birthday. In the photo, Xia Wan is standing outside the ward. She is wearing a white dress that reaches her ankles and a small hair crown on her head. She looks like a runaway bride. This casually taken picture is full of story. After returning to China, Ji Qian entered the entertainment industry. With his outstanding looks, he quickly gained a place in the entertainment industry. Later, he played the second male lead in a fairy tale drama, which directly made his fans exceed 10 million and made him a popular star today. His career has just started and he needs fans to contribute money and effort, so even a groundless love rumor will have some impact on him. However, there are many fans supporting him under these comments. Ji Qian is 24 years old today, and can now fall in love. "Brother Qian, I like this sister-in-law. A big star and a rich family's daughter, isn't this the perfect scenario? Is Ji Qian seriously injured? It's heartbreaking to see him, but luckily he has his girlfriend by his side. My girlfriend's face is not inferior to that of other female artists in the industry. Not only is she beautiful, but she is also very rich. I will stay here today and see who dares to say anything wrong about my sister-in-law. I heard that the two knew each other since childhood and loved each other passionately when they were in school, but they broke up due to pressure from their elders. Now one of them has become a big star and the other has become a female CEO. They met each other. How can this not be considered a reunion? I'm so happy." I checked the woman's profile and found out that her family background is quite impressive. She is truly the daughter of a wealthy family. Rumor has it that she has found a rich second-generation man who is equally matched with her and has already been engaged. No way, the CP we just supported is going to be broken. It's not a rumor but a fact. Pictures show the truth. Xia Wan was absent from the engagement party today because she was taking care of her ex-boyfriend Ji Qian. The plot of the novel shines into reality. Love can overcome all difficulties. I sincerely wish this couple to get married. What era is it in? Are arranged marriages still popular? I work as a waiter in a hotel, and the man has already called off the engagement. Zhuang Yan broke off the engagement. He is quite self-aware. He knows that he is not as good as Ji Qian and that he is not worthy of Xia Wan. Where there are blessings, there are slanders, but the one who is slandered is Zhuang Yan. They say that he is not worthy of Xia Wan and is only with Xia Wan because of his good family background. They also call him a mistress who interferes and destroys other people's feelings. Xia Wan's eyelids twitched as she watched this. It was really one crisis after another. Xia Wan had never expected that Zhuang Yan's breaking off of the engagement would be exposed. How was this hotel arranged? How could someone else's privacy be exposed? Ji Chen put down his phone, held Xia Wan's hand and said, "People on the internet believe everything they hear. I don't care. But the matter of your engagement with Zhuang Yan, do you think I should clarify it online?" What did she want to clarify? It was a fact that she was absent and left Zhuang Yan alone at the engagement party. Thinking that Zhuang Yan would also see such a hot search, I suddenly felt inexplicably heavy, as if a stone was pressing on my chest. Ji Chen sighed. It was because of me that Zhuang Yan broke off the engagement. I asked Brother Zhang not to tell you. It wasn't a big injury in the first place. Xia Wan said in a deep voice, "This is not your fault. I came here on my own initiative. You should have a good rest. Let me handle the online matters." The entertainment company that Ji Chen works for is owned by the Xia family. The contract that Ji Chen signed to join the company was drafted by Xia Wan herself. Ji Chen was able to become popular so quickly thanks to Xia Wan's care. Agent Zhang Yan knew the relationship between the two, and from time to time he would report Ji Chen's situation to Xia Wan in order to bring the two closer together. He would also intentionally let the paparazzi make some small splashes to test the waters. The ambiguous relationship between Xia Wan and Ji Chen is no secret in their circle, it's just a matter of time before it's revealed. Zhang Yan was eager for the two of them to confirm their relationship directly. If Ji Chen could hold on to the Xia family firmly, his career would definitely be icing on the cake and reach a higher level. Zhang Yan received Ji Chen's gaze, he cleared his throat and asked Xia Wan, "Miss Xia, do you think you need me to explain to Mr. Zhuang?" Xia Wan pulled her hand away, "No need." Before Ji Chen could even feel happy, Xia Wan continued, "Have the PR department release some information that can outweigh the current trending searches. First, divert the attention of netizens. It will be fine after a few days. The entertainment industry is like this, there is never a shortage of new information. Today's hot searches may be gone tomorrow. The melons change every day, but the ones that don't change are the people who eat the melons. With the fast-paced life, how many people can remember what happens on the internet?" As for Zhuang Yan, Xia Wan paused and said softly, "I will explain it to him, and he will understand." Ji Chen's face suddenly froze. Xia Wan was able to humble herself and explain in person. It seemed that Zhuang Yan held a very high position in her heart. Xia Wan was unsure, it was originally just a small matter, but now it has become known to everyone. The more she thought about it, the more annoyed she became. Xia Wan took 2 bites of the cake and put it down. Ji Chen looked at the cake on the table and asked, "You don't want to eat it again?" "I'm not hungry. Eating too much cake will make me fat. I have to control myself." "You're not fat." Ji Chen looked at Xia Wan's figure. Xia Wan has always had a good figure. The dress she wore today was tailor-made for her. She had a slender waist and her legs under the skirt were straight, long and white. Xia Wan didn't answer him, but changed the subject and said, "I'm going to go out and make a phone call." Seeing that she looked very bad, Ji Chen didn't want to get angry and stop her, so he could only watch her leave, with his hands clenched into fists on the quilt. Zhang Yan whispered, "Miss Xia, could it be that she is obsessed with Zhuang Yan?" Ji Chen's face was gloomy. He had been abroad for 5 years, which was too long enough for Xia Wan to fall in love with someone else. He should have thought of it earlier. A woman like Xia Wan would attract many men. Although Ji Chen Ren was in the hospital, he knew everything that happened at the engagement party. The woman ran away from the engagement, and the man broke off the engagement. The Xia family looked down on him at the beginning, so they arranged such a marriage for Xia Wan. Now it has turned out like this, and he has embarrassed himself and been laughed at online. He simply deserves it. Ji Chen sneered, "So what if you care? Aren't we going to cancel the engagement? Even if the engagement fails, I won't let them off easily." Chapter 5, Fiancé Escapes 3. After Xia Wan went out, she called the public relations manager and asked them to suppress this hot search. Needless to say, they understood. After hanging up the phone, I checked Weibo again and saw that the popularity online had increased again, and her account had been dug out. Fortunately, she doesn't post on Weibo very often, so no scandals can be dug up about her. I thought I could just let the matter go, but now the number of private messages and comments on her account is increasing by 99 plus, so it's impossible to just ignore it. In order to stop those who randomly called her sister-in-law, Xia Wan posted a clarifying Weibo post. Just friends. As soon as the Weibo post was sent out, Ji Chen in the ward saw it. His already gloomy expression became even gloomier, and he pursed his lips. After Xia Wan posted on Weibo, she called her father again. After receiving the call, Xia's father scolded Xia Wan, "What were you thinking? It's bad enough that you ran away from the engagement party and went to the hospital to accompany Ji Chen, but someone saw it and posted it online. Do you know how much trouble you have brought to the company?" Xia Qingshan has always loved his daughter and usually never speaks loudly to her. Now he is so anxious that he uses his mobile phone to scold her. You can imagine how angry he is. Xia Wan remained silent, and only said after hearing the panting sound from the phone, "Dad, I know I was wrong. I will go back to apologize tonight. As for the banker, the dealer dare not say anything to you. What about Zhuang Yan? I heard that he wants to break off the engagement with me. You are well informed." Judging from her father's tone, it was obvious that he didn't know that people on the internet already knew that Zhuang Yan had broken off the engagement. His parents don't dare to cancel the engagement. How can a young boy like him dare to do so? He hasn't even grown strong yet. Xia Qingshan said with disdain, "Zhuang Yang doesn't have many advantages, but he loves you, treats you well, and is filial to his parents. He wanted to cancel the engagement today, but it was just an impulse. Just wait until he calms down. You were at fault first. You should coax him privately and make him give in. Don't make things too ugly. We don't need him in the Xia family." Xia Qingshan was trying to manipulate Zhuang Yang in every way she said, thinking that Zhuang Yang couldn't bear to leave her. It seemed that everyone thought so, including her friend and her father, which made Xia Wan confident. "I understand. I will talk to him properly." Xia Qingshan reminded her, "Come back early and don't get too close to Ji Chen, or you'll end up being laughed at in the circle." Although the Zhuang family cannot compare with the Xia family, it is also a well-known enterprise in Rongqing. Zhuang Yang is a rich second generation who has enjoyed a top-notch life since birth. He is much better than the driver's child, Ji Chen. Moreover, he has a good personality, is obedient, and is smart. Xia Wan doesn't have to worry about being wronged if she marries him. He was very picky in choosing a son-in-law. Xia Wan was an only child, and the huge family property would have to be handed over to her in the future. Would it be okay if he didn't find someone who was capable and sensible? Xia Wan had heard such words countless times, but she never took them to heart. In order to deal with her father, she could only say, After calling her father, Xia Wan felt much more relaxed. She called Zhuang Yan again. The call went through but no one answered. Xia Wan thought about it and didn't take it seriously, thinking that he might be busy. Back in the ward, Xia Wan started by asking about Ji Chen's leg. "Does your leg still hurt? The anesthetic has worn off and it's starting to hurt now. Do you want to call a doctor?" "No need for this little pain, I can still bear it." Ji Chen pretended nothing had happened. He and Xia Wan have known each other for more than 10 years. Ji Chen was born in a single-parent family and lived with his father since childhood. His father was the driver of the Xia family. When he was 6 years old, his father drove Mrs. Xia to another place to discuss business. An accident happened on their way and both people died in the car accident. Both of them could not be rescued. From then on, Xia Qingshan disliked him. Ji Chen knew that he blamed his wife's death on his father, but he didn't think about it. If Mrs. Xia hadn't insisted on going on a long journey that day and asked the driver to take her, his father wouldn't have died in the car accident. So whose fault was it? Fortunately, Xia Wan did not accept this hatred and treated him as kindly as always, even treating him as one of their own kind, because they both lost their closest relatives. At the age of first falling in love, the two fell in love with each other. The relationship between them went beyond friendship and was closer than lovers, and more like family. 6 years ago, Xia Wan would never favor one over the other for Zhuang Yang. Xia Wan is beautiful and smart, standing out among her peers. She is the only daughter in the Xia family, so she has enjoyed the best of everything since she was born. The excellence that comes with money is something that Ji Yuqian could never catch up with no matter how hard he tried. When Xia Qingshan sent him abroad, he thought that he would return to her when he became mature and outstanding enough, and maybe no one would say that he was not worthy of her. But he underestimated the time and distance. When he heard that Xia Wan was going to marry Zhuang Yan while he was abroad, at that moment, he hated his own weakness so much. He hurried back to China. Although Xia Wan still cared about him as much as before, he had to admit that the relationship between them had faded over time. Has the PR been arranged? Did Zhuang Yan call you? Didn't the internet say that he wanted to break off the engagement with you? He didn't even discuss such a big thing with you and just made the decision directly. Isn't that too disrespectful to you? After all, I was the one who broke the appointment first, so it's normal for him to be angry. Zhuang Yang had never lost his temper in front of her, so Xia Wan found it very strange. Xia Wan was not magnanimous, but she simply did not take Zhuang Yang's attitude seriously. Ji Yuqian continued, Zhuang Yang is deliberately making fun of you. A grown man is so petty. He calls for a breakup when something happens, without caring about the Xia family and your reputation. He dares to turn his face away in front of relatives and friends now, so he will dare to attack you directly in the future. Don't take him too seriously this time. It's best to give him the cold shoulder for 2 days and let him take the initiative to admit his mistake and apologize to you. Both her friend and Ji Yuqian said so. Xia Wan was a little skeptical at first, but now she feels that what they said makes some sense. You are the daughter of the Xia family. Even his parents have to give you some respect. Why does Zhuang Yang ignore you? He even announced in public that he wanted to cancel the engagement. Aren't you afraid of getting into trouble? Ji Yuqian understands Xia Wan. She is proud. The better he shapes her, the more she will not bow her head. Gradually, she will feel that she is not wrong. Ji Yuqian just didn't believe that he couldn't separate them. Is this really okay? Ji Yuqian smiled and said, I am a man, I don't know him yet. If you take the initiative to bow your head this time, he will become even more aggressive. You must understand that your status is always higher than his. My calf is a little uncomfortable, can you help press it for me? Ji Yuqian supported himself and looked like he had difficulty moving. He was good looking, and showing weakness appropriately would arouse a woman's maternal instinct and make her care more about and take care of his emotions. Xia Wan didn't have time to think and her attention was quickly diverted. She stood at the corner of the bed and touched his calf. Chapter 6, Fiancé Escapes 4. Zhuang Yang had no idea what these people were talking about him. He was busy looking for a house and a job after his divorce. He blocked both Zhuang Zhongming and Tang Jing, and since he couldn't contact them, he simply blocked their cards. They thought that as long as they left him with no money to spend, he would admit his mistake and then obey their arrangements obediently. He is 24 years old, not 14. He knew how to make money as early as high school, and he never spent a penny of their money in college. The money on WeChat was enough for him to live on for the rest of his life. Zhuang Yang rented a 2-bedroom, 1-living-room house. The house was not big, but the decoration was very warm. The house was located in a prime location, so the monthly rent was 5,200, which was not cheap. Zhuang Yang thought the idea was good, so he paid the money and filled out the contract. He didn't have much stuff, so it was easy for him to pack up. After cleaning up, he lay on the sofa, turned on the TV, and picked out the most popular variety show to watch. Coincidentally, the guest of the show was Ji Yuqian. It is said that big screens will make people's faces wider and uglier. Celebrities who look good on TV will often look even better in real life. Zhuang Yan watched for a while and felt a little hungry. Instead of ordering takeout, he bought some vegetables from the supermarket downstairs and cooked a simple bowl of noodles. At 9 o'clock in the evening, Zhuang Zhongming, who had not received any news from Zhuang Yang, began to get anxious. She sent a text message to Zhuang Yang using someone else's cell phone, telling him concisely that if he wanted to cancel the engagement, it would mean he didn't recognize his parents. Since he didn't recognize his parents, he should return the child support for all those years. Zhuang Yan clicked on the attachment and almost laughed when he saw the terms. In short, he had to pay back 300 million in total. 300 million, those who don't know would think he was working illegally. His parents have disliked him ever since he could remember. It is said that there is no parent in the world who doesn't like their own children. If they don't like them, there must be a reason. Zhuang Yan once had a younger sister, and everyone told him that he was the one who threw his 2-year-old sister off the second-floor balcony and killed her. It is said that people have no memory of things before the age of 5, but for some reason, Zhuang Yan remembered the blood on the ground so clearly. From then on, his mother went crazy. Whenever she saw him, she would beat and curse him, saying that he was a devil, carried super male genes in his body, and was a born terrorist. Every day Zhuang Yan was filled with self-hatred and self-destruction. It was as if there was an axe hanging over his head, and he was always expecting the axe to fall and cut off his short life. If he died, would his parents no longer resent him? If he died, would he be able to go from hell to heaven? If he died, would he be able to see his sister and say sorry to her? When he was 6 years old, his elderly grandmother took him to the countryside to raise him, with his body covered in bruises. They raised him for 10 years, and during these 10 years, his parents ignored him. Zhuang Zhongming said that Tang Jing was recuperating and taking medicine, and would get sick if she saw him, so he asked him not to disturb them. This was indeed the case. Every time she saw Tang Jing, she cursed him like a madman, saying that he was a murderer and did not deserve to live. He saw a psychiatrist and had his body checked. The doctor told him that he did not have super male genes in his body. He was a normal person, not the born devil his mother described. In his previous life, Zhuang Yang lived cautiously, with regret and guilt, and tried hard to be filial to his parents in order to gain their forgiveness. He didn't dare to resist what his family arranged for him. If he showed any resistance, they would use his sister's death to stand on the moral high ground and curse him and tie him up. If Zhuang Yang had not been reborn, perhaps he would have continued to live his life toiling away without complaint, and would only know the truth after Zhuang Zhongming died. How did a 5-year-old child pick up his 3-year-old sister and throw her off a 1.2-meter high balcony? Tang Jing was indeed sick, but Zhuang Zhongming was not. In order to appease his wife, or perhaps because he was used to using repressive education, he chose to keep the secret. In this way, a 5-year-old child lived for 50 years with a life on his shoulders. Under such education, Zhuang Yang lived up to expectations and, like an obedient puppet, fulfilled their goals and destroyed himself. How could Zhuang Yang not have resentment towards them? He gave birth to them but didn't raise them. It was his grandmother who raised him. Why do they ask for 300 million in child support and why do they exploit him? He would not fall into the same trap twice. Since they all thought that he could not survive without the dealer, he might as well cut off all ties with him. After Zhuang Yang finished his noodles, he contacted a lawyer, explained the whole story to the lawyer, and then made a table of his expenses over the years and sent it to the lawyer. The lawyer told him objectively that it was impossible to sever ties with his parents legally, but he could help him break away from the banker and only be responsible for alimony after he turned 60. It is not easy to break away from the banker. Zhuang Yang, who is in his early 20s, has no money and no status in Chengdu. He can go and earn money, but since he has no status, he is afraid that the banker will trip him up and make his life difficult. Zhuang Yang decided to use their truth to completely break off relations with them. Zhuang Zhongming is a born egoist. He cares too much about his face. It sounds better to say that a 5-year-old child accidentally threw his sister off the stairs than to say that his wife went crazy and killed their daughter. If we put the blame on a 5-year-old child, even if everyone discusses the matter, they will conclude that the child is still young and ignorant, and that even if the child kills someone, he or she will not go to jail and will not bear legal responsibility. If Zhuang Yang chooses to expose this matter, it is hard to say who will oppress whom. This busy work lasted until the early morning. Zhuang Yang stretched his muscles, picked up his mobile phone and found that Xia Wan had called him several times. He turned the phone to silent mode so he didn't hear it. Of course, even if he heard it he wouldn't answer it as he didn't want to affect his mood before going to bed. There are also a lot of messy messages in the message box, all of which are asking for gossip. Zhuang Yang read the entire article with one click, then threw his phone aside, took his clothes and went into the bathroom to take a shower. The other side. Xia Wan kept her promise and spent the rest of Ji Yu Qian's birthday with him before leaving. I didn't do anything all day, but I was so tired. I wanted to take a nap, but I couldn't fall asleep. Xia Wan pressed her aching temple, glanced at the night outside the car window, then took out her cell phone and continued to call Zhuang Yang. Still no one answered the call, and the cold reminder tone made people feel annoyed. What happened to Zhuang Yan? If you can't get through during the day, you can explain that he is busy with something, but it's already early in the morning, and he must have finished his work by now. Not to mention that Zhuang Yang was already asleep. Even if he was dreaming, he should have answered her call. All her contact information is pinned at the top of Zhuang Yang's list of special concern, with her exclusive ringtone and exclusive reminder. No matter what time she called him, he would answer immediately and be available at any time. Not to mention midnight, even if she called him at 3 in the morning and asked him to drive out of town to pick her up, he would get up without saying a word. She has made 4 calls today, there is no way Zhuang Yang didn't see it. Chapter 7 Empty House. It's impossible that Zhuang Yang didn't see it, which only means that he deliberately didn't answer her call. It's been so long, and is still angry. What on earth is he doing? Miss, we are in Rongcheng now. Where are you planning to go back to? Xia Wan originally planned to go to the Xia family to apologize to her father first, but because Zhuang Yang didn't answer her calls, she became upset and wanted to question him in person. Is it appropriate for a grown man like you to act like a petty person and be so petty? Isn't she just absent? It's not like she ran away with someone. I have taken the initiative to look for you, why don't you return my call? With a heart full of anger, Xia Wan told the location of the apartment building, which was their home where she and Zhuang Yang lived together. The corridor was very quiet. There was no one around at this time. Xia Wan did not use the key to open the door but pressed the doorbell directly. After pressing for a long time, there was no movement from inside. Xia Wan stamped his feet and stared at the door with a gloomy look, as if he wanted to stare a hole through it. She's already at the door, but you don't even open it. The driver who had been following her saw that she was furious, so he asked cautiously, Miss, is Mr. Zhuang not here? Xia Wan was stunned. Where could he go if he wasn't here? Could he go back to the banker? Zhuang Yang didn't like going back to the Zhuang family's house and rarely went there during the holidays because there was no place for him there. In fact, Xia Wan understood better than anyone how difficult Zhuang Yang's situation was, but she still abandoned him at such an important occasion yesterday, making him a joke and being blamed and scolded by his parents. Xia Wan was silent for a moment, then found a spare key under the flower pot at the door. This key was prepared for her by Zhuang Yang because she always forgot to take her key. The spare key has been here for a long time, but this is the first time Xia Wan used it. Every time she returns home, Zhuang Yang is either by her side or at home. She just needs to press the doorbell and the door will open. Xia Wan took the key and opened the door. The house was pitch black. Then, as the light came on, their home was still the same home where she had lived for a year, but she always felt like something was missing. There was a sense of incongruity everywhere, which made her feel uncomfortable. Xia Wan first discovered that there were fewer shoes at the door, the kitchen was empty, the water cups on the table were gone, and even the books and documents on the bookshelf had all disappeared. Those who didn't know would think that a thief had broken in, but even those who were not as quick as to notice the problem noticed it. Xia Wan rushed into Zhuang Yang's bedroom and saw that the closet was empty. Looking at the empty closet, Xia Wan was stunned for a long time. Why would Zhuang Yan leave? If he leaves, will he come back? At this time in the past, if Zhuang Yang was not asleep, he would sit at his computer desk to handle work. When he had nothing to do, he would clean the house, paying attention to every corner and detail. The meals he cooked were delicious. If she got hungry and came to him in the middle of the night, he would make diet meals for her, considering that girls needed to maintain their figure. People say that diet meals taste bad, but Zhuang Yang's are very good and she can finish them every time. The toiletries in the bathroom were gone too. The cups, slippers, towels that they used were all prepared by Zhuang Yang in advance. They were all couples' items. Xia Wan thought they looked good, so she never changed them. Now only hers were left. There was originally an ornament on the TV cabinet, which was made in the ceramic museum during their first date. It had been there for a year. Normally, she would never give these things a second look and often ignore them, but when they were really gone, they suddenly seemed important. Xia Wan looked around the room and finally saw a ring box in the trash can. She picked it up and opened it. That was the engagement ring that Zhuang Yang had prepared a long time ago, but now he threw it away. Xia Wan tightly clenched the ring in her hand without saying a word. The driver looked worried, his eyes reddened as he looked at Xia Wan, and he didn't know whether he was angry or aggrieved. I thought Zhuang Yan's announcement of breaking off the engagement at the engagement party was just a momentary impulse and he would be able to adjust himself after a few hours, but I didn't expect him to move out without saying a word. It seems that he is serious about breaking off the engagement. I didn't expect that such a quiet person could be so ruthless in doing things. Even rabbits bite when they are angry, let alone humans. Miss, where are you staying tonight? Xia Wan was too weak to sit down. For some reason, she put the ring on her middle finger, then took out her cell phone and called Zhuang Yan again. When she didn't answer the first time, she called a second time. The system reminded that no one answered, proving that Zhuang Yan had not blocked her. When the phone call didn't go through, she tried a video call. Finally, when she was about to call for the seventh time, Zhuang Yan finally picked up the phone. What's the matter? Their hoarse voice was filled with fatigue. Xia Wan wanted to curse, but when she heard his voice, she swallowed the words that were on the tip of her tongue. Where are you now? It's almost 3 in the morning. Do you still want to come and see me? Didn't you come to find me? Seeing that Xia Wan didn't say anything, Zhuang Yan continued, I'm already asleep. If you have anything to say, let's talk tomorrow. I'm hanging up. Xia Wan stared blankly at her phone which had gone black. Did he just die like that? After the call ended, Xia Wan realized how cold Zhuang Yan's attitude was on the phone just now. It was like he had become a different person. She was so angry that she wanted to call again, but this time the other party turned off the phone. Xia Wan turned to the driver and said, I'll stay here tonight, you can go back. After the driver left, Xia Wan sent a text message to Zhuang Yan, asking him to come to see her tomorrow morning. That night, Xia Wan slept very poorly. She tossed and turned in bed. When she finally felt sleepy, it was already dawn. Xia Wan stood up despite the headache, picked up her phone and saw that it was only 7 o'clock. While washing up, she kept looking at her phone to see if Zhuang Yan had replied to her text message, but no matter how many times she looked, she got no reply. At 8 o'clock, Xia Wan couldn't help but call Zhuang Yan. This time, Zhuang Yan answered quickly. Xia Wan's patience had run out, and she asked angrily, when are you coming over? I'm having breakfast. If you want to see me, go to the coffee shop on Zhang Street. It's not far from where you are. Didn't I ask you to come find me? Zhuang Yan, it's you who wants to talk to me. If you don't want to talk, forget it. I'm busy today. Worried that Zhuang Yan would hang up the phone again like before, Xia Wan could only suppress her anger and said through gritted teeth, okay, see you at 9 o'clock. After the call, Xia Wan put on some makeup and chose a flashy red dress to make herself look better. Seeing that it was already 8:50, she calmly walked in her high heels, took a taxi and went to the cafe. When I got there, Zhuang Yan was already there. There was a cup of coffee in front of him. The coffee was still very hot. Zhuang Yan put 2 packets of sugar into the coffee and stirred it with a spoon. It was obviously a very ordinary action, but for some reason, it was very pleasing to the eye when he did it. Zhuang Yan was very different today, at least he attracted more attention than usual. Xia Wan slowed down her pace and walked closer to take a look. She found that Zhuang Yan's hairstyle was also different from usual. His forehead was exposed, making his facial features look more three-dimensional. He looked better than her, and it was obvious that he slept well last night and was not affected at all. Chapter 8, Completely Cutting Off Relations. Zhuang Yan also saw her. If it were before, he would have stood up and walked to her side, actively pulling out a chair for her to sit down, but now, he sat there motionless as a mountain, only slightly raising his head to signal her. Seeing the young Xia Wan again, Zhuang Yan felt a little emotional. It turns out that Xia Wan looked like this when she was young. It feels like a long time has passed. Time never defeats beauty. Xia Wan is especially favored by time. In her previous life, she was over 50 years old but still looked like she was 30 years old. She had a good complexion, a slim figure, no wrinkles on her face, and no white hair. She was in better health than many young people, unlike him, who died before retiring. Thinking of this, Zhuang Yan's thoughts drifted away. If he had died in his previous life, Xia Wan should have married Ji Yuqian soon, and then the two of them would have lived together until old age and lived a long life. Zhuang Yan? The person on the other side shouted, bringing Zhuang Yan back to his senses. Zhuang Yan calmed himself down, with a smile on his face. Sit down, scan the code and order what you want to drink. He was quite kind to Xia Wan. Although there were many unpleasant things in his marriage in his previous life, in essence, he and Xia Wan were both victims of this marriage. Although they were not in love, they had been together for 30 long years and respected each other. Now he couldn't say whether he liked or hated Xia Wan. It was good enough to be a familiar stranger. It would be best if there was no contact after today. Xia Wan stared at him, and one could clearly see red bloodshot in her eyes. Her red eyes looked as if she had suffered a great injustice. Is it because he didn't buy her coffee? That shouldn't be the case. In her memory, Xia Wan didn't like bitter food. This was her first time in this cafe. Xia Wan was picky about food. If he ordered something unpalatable, she would be in a worse mood. Xia Wan sat down, looked at Zhuang Yan and asked, "Don't you have anything to tell me? What do you want to tell me? Why did you move suddenly? I've already called off the engagement. It's not a good idea to live together." Xia Wan raised her voice in disbelief. "Are you really going to break off the engagement with me? Could it be possible that what you said in front of so many people was false?" Zhuang Yan said with a smile, "I saw the trending searches last night. You and Ji Chen love each other. You missed your engagement for him and even spent his birthday with him. I believe in your feelings for him, so I won't force you. After all, marriage is a matter between two people, and a forced marriage will not be happy." Hearing this, Xia Wan's frown relaxed. "If you are angry with me because of Ji Chen, then I can explain. I didn't deliberately break my promise to accompany Ji Chen on his birthday yesterday. He was injured while filming. His agent told me that he was seriously injured. I was afraid of an irreversible accident. Zhuang Yan, our engagement party can be arranged separately. The negative impact caused can be resolved by the Xia family. If you need compensation, you can also ask for it. I will try my best to satisfy it. Things have come to this point, and as a man, Zhuang Yan should not continue to care about it." Is Xia Wan bowing to him? How strange. Zhuang Yan raised his eyebrows unexpectedly, his expression still gentle. "I have made it very clear, there is no love between us. If you just want to find someone for marriage, then find someone else." As soon as he finished speaking, Zhuang Yan saw Xia Wan's face darken instantly, as dark as if water could drip out of it. "What do you mean there is no love between us? Who doesn't know that you like me?" Zhuang Yan was distracted for a moment. It was a long time ago that he fell in love with Xia Wan, and he had long forgotten that feeling. His sudden change might have made Xia Wan very uncomfortable, so Zhuang Yan felt it necessary to explain it to her to avoid any misunderstanding later. "I don't like you anymore. You can do whatever you want with the cancellation of the engagement. Let's part ways amicably." "Oh." Zhuang Yan listened to Xia Wan's cold, disdainful and sarcastic sneer. She looked down at him as if he was a child who was making trouble for no reason. After decades of companionship, Zhuang Yan knew that Xia Wan was extremely angry at this moment. From childhood to adulthood, Xia Wan was brought up not to yell or scream even when she was angry, especially outside. "Zhuang Yan, you want to break off the engagement with me, but have you ever thought about your parents and the Zhuang family's business? Marriage is not a joke. Being born in a family like ours, it's cheap to talk about feelings. I don't like you, but don't forget that it was your Zhuang family that begged for the marriage with the Xia family. Don't forget who was the one who knelt and licked me like a dog and couldn't be driven away? Now the contract has been signed, the wedding dress has been tried on, the money has been paid, the venue for the wedding banquet has been arranged, and even the invitations have been sent out. You say you want to break off the engagement, and you think my Xia family is easy to bully? Believe it or not, today I can make my father cancel all investments in your family and make it impossible for you to stay in Rongchen." Zhuang Yang originally wanted to talk to her calmly, but Xia Wan didn't want to save face. Yes, he knew better than anyone that Xia Wan didn't treat him as her boyfriend, let alone her fiancé. She only treated him as a tool who could be called upon at any time to make her happy and provide for her convenience. Now the disguise has been completely torn off. If Zhuang Yan was only the 20-year-old Zhuang Yang, he might have been broken after hearing what she said. "I have severed ties with the Zhuang family. You can go ask whoever you gave the money to. Xia Wan, I have already said this much. Please give each other some respect. If you insist on marrying the Zhuang family, I have a good idea. You can let them adopt Ji Chen. This way, you can be together legitimately. Not only can you talk about feelings, but you can also continue to talk about interests. Don't even think about threatening me with anything. I have nothing to worry about. Your Xia family is so big and powerful that I can't resist if they want to make me die. But if I can't stay in Rongchen, I can go to another city. If I can't stay anywhere else, I will go abroad. The world is so big, and I don't believe that your Xia family can cover the sky with one hand. Zhuang Yan put away the smile on his face. He was a man in his 50s. How could he be afraid of a girl in her early 20s? In his previous life, Zhuang Yan took over all the businesses of the Zhuang family and was also responsible for the Xia family. He was worth hundreds of billions. Even the most cowardly person can become strong, and Zhuang Yan, who has been in a high position for a long time, can also be intimidating without being angry. As he spoke, he stared coldly at Xia Wan's stiff and pale face. You said I was a dog licker, but what do dogs like to lick? Don't scold yourself. In the past 3 years, I, Zhuang Yan, have been worthy of you. Think about my good intentions towards you, so don't push me into a dead end. If you really push me into a corner, then both sides will be destroyed. If I don't live well, then no one will live well. If I dare to cancel the engagement, it proves that I no longer have any improper thoughts about you. If I still have, I will die without a burial place. You should also be quick and clean. Miss Xia, there are many people who love you, and you don't need me. Don't think that I owe you, so I have to kneel down and lick your ass for the rest of my life. Chapter 9 Severing Relationship. After saying this, Zhuang Yan picked up the coffee in front of him and took a sip, then stood up, paid the bill and left. Xia Wan was on the verge of breaking through. She was shaking all over. Their whole world suddenly went dark. The air became sharp and her chest ached badly with every breath. Anger was raging in her body, almost breaking her nerves. Her whole body was going limp and she almost fell off the chair. She thought she knew Zhuang Yan well enough, but she didn't expect Zhuang Yang to have such a cold and ruthless side. He seemed like a different person, and there was no tenderness for her in his eyes anymore. How so? Did Zhuang Yang deliberately make fun of Qiao? Was he playing hard to get and saying this to attract her attention? She didn't believe that Zhuang Yang really wanted to cut off ties with her. Xia Wan wanted to get up and catch up with him, but her legs were so weak at this moment, and she saw Zhuang Yang was about to walk away. Xia Wan stiffened her neck and said, Zhuang Yang, do you think I can't live without you? Without me, you are nothing. You will regret it. One day you will face the reality. Who is the person who doesn't recognize the reality? Do you think he is a cheap man? Now that things have come to this, how can there be any room for turning back? Zhuang Yang didn't stop for her, nor did he look back, he just left. The people in the coffee shop looked over here curiously. Xia Wan lowered her head and looked at the ring on the middle finger of her right hand. It has been about 10 minutes since she sat down, and her hands have been placed on the table the whole time. Zhuang Yang didn't even notice the obvious ring. Maybe she noticed it but ignored it. At this moment, Xia Wan felt like she was a clown. She controlled herself not to break down and make a fool of herself in public. Her eyes were hot and her nose was sore. She was not sad about Zhuang Yang's departure, she felt humiliated. She had even lowered her dignity to take the initiative to save the relationship, so why did he have to be so hard on her and say so many things to humiliate her? Xia Wan took off the ring with force and wanted to throw it away, but when she faced the trash can, she froze again. She bit her lip and looked at the ring in her hand. It felt like there were needles hidden in her blood, piercing her body one by one. It didn't hurt, but she just felt uncomfortable all over. People around her said that Zhuang Yang was her dog and that things would not work without her. Gradually, she began to regard Zhuang Yang as her dog and agreed with the views of people around her. After living together with Zhuang Yang, she officially accepted this fiancé and regarded him as her own property. Therefore, she never thought that Zhuang Yang would leave her one day. Just like the toys she collected as a child, she could throw them away when she got tired of playing with them. It's impossible that the toys don't want her. Xia Wan couldn't figure out what her feelings at the moment meant. She still remained skeptical and didn't believe that Zhuang Yang could really sever ties with the Zhuang family. It was understandable that Zhuang Yang didn't like her anymore, but he would never ignore his parents. This time she thought it through. She planned to ignore Zhuang Yang for a few days. Even if he was pressed to his knees by his parents, she would not even look at him, let alone plead for him. The more arrogant he is now, the more ridiculous he will be later. Xia Wan adjusted herself and soon turned back into the arrogant young lady. After drinking a cup of coffee, Zhuang Yan felt full of energy. He was very busy today. In addition to meeting Xia Wan, he also had an appointment with a lawyer at noon. The lawyer was a friend he met in college, named Songlu. He has a good relationship with Songlu and he was also at the engagement party yesterday. Zhuang Yan found a Sichuan restaurant and booked a private room, and the two of them agreed on a time to meet. They were talking about things while eating. When he heard Zhuang Yan announce the cancellation of the engagement in public yesterday, he remained skeptical. So as soon as he sat down, Songlu asked him, "Are you really going to break off the engagement with Xia Wan? Are you acting on impulse?" "I have already made it clear to Xia Wan about breaking off the engagement. No attitude can be proven faster than actual actions." Songlu sighed and said, "I feel like you like Xia Wan very much. You want to cancel the engagement right after we got engaged. The reversal is too fast. I can't figure it out for a while." Zhuang Yan had known Xia Wan since college. He had always abided by school rules and done his duty. The first time in his life he climbed over the wall to skip class and did not return to the dormitory late at night, all because of Xia Wan. After pursuing someone for 3 years, how can you just say no to them after finally getting engaged? You can put the relationship aside, but how do you divide the interests between the two families? Zhuang Yan really likes Xia Wan. If it was just for the sake of marriage, he would never go that far. However, no matter how deep the love is, it will eventually run out. You know, a cup of hot water doesn't cool down suddenly. There was no trace of disappointment on Zhuang Yan's face. Perhaps the end of disappointment is relief. She has someone she loves. If marriage is compared to a grave, then a forced marriage is a mass grave. Songlu asked, "Is the story about her and that celebrity on the internet true?" Zhuang Yan didn't say much, just said, Although things on the internet cannot be fully believed, but Zhuang Yan admitted it himself, so the reality is different. No wonder he was so angry yesterday that he wanted to cancel the engagement. She was already engaged, but she ran away to be with another man. Are you planning on marrying a young lady like this to add some color to your life? Songlu opened his mouth, wanting to say something comforting, but he really couldn't say anything. It's fine to cancel the engagement. You can't afford to offend a woman like this, but do your parents agree? This is what I want to entrust you with next. I plan to sever my relationship with the banker. Please help me draft an agreement. Last night, Zhuang Yan consulted other lawyers online and learned that it is not legally allowed to sever ties with biological parents. But you can cut off contact with them. At worst, you can give them some alimony after they turn 60. It's just a few $100s, and they may not need it. The difficulty lies in how to make money, unlike a divorce where you can divide the divorce property. There is no property to be divided between father and son, mother and son. It can only be given to you if they are willing to give it to you. If they are not willing to give it to you, you should plan your inheritance in advance. If the situation gets out of hand, they will kick you out of the house and you won't get a penny. A wealthy family like the Zhuang family, even if it has been on the decline, still has liquid assets worth hundreds of millions. Doesn't he want to inherit such a big enterprise and have a share of the profits? I don't want any property, not a penny. Since he wanted to leave, he would not be concerned about the banker's property. He inherited these properties in his previous life and worked hard every day. He had money, but he also lost his health. He died without even having a chance to enjoy his life. Therefore, Zhuang Yan really doesn't care about the so-called inheritance rights. You just want to give up all this property. Zhuang Yan said decisively, "No." How willful. Songlu had nothing to say about this, and could only complain in his heart that Zhuang Yan was stupid. If it were him, he would swallow his anger. After all, Xia Wan didn't really cheat on him. Even if he didn't love her now, there was a chance that he would fall in love with her after marriage. By then, he would have both money and a wife, and he would be happy just thinking about it. This is Zhuang Yan's own business, and Songlu is not in a good position to persuade him. After all, everyone has different ideas. Songlu took out his laptop and quickly drew up an agreement. Do you think this is okay? Do you have anything else to add? Let's leave it at that. Zhuang Yan watched him draft it and couldn't find any fault with it. Once you print it out, you can take it back and ask your parents to sign it. You can still regret it now, but it will be difficult to regret it after they sign it. First of all, it would be embarrassing. Songlu was worried that he was saying one thing and thinking another, but he was really determined to cut off ties with these people, the sooner the better. He couldn't wait. After leaving the banker, he lived for himself in this life and at least lived long enough to receive a pension. I won't regret it. Songlu had tried to persuade him and explained the pros and cons one by one. It was up to him whether to listen or not. He would just make some money from the commission anyway. After dinner, Zhuang Yan followed Songlu to the law office and signed the power of attorney. Zhuang Yan didn't want to stop for a moment. Before the agreement was printed out, he took out his mobile phone, released Zhuang Zhongming from the blacklist, and called. When Zhuang Zhongming received the call, he thought Zhuang Yang had thought it through and called him to admit his mistake and apologize. But as soon as the call was connected, he heard Zhuang Yang ask, "Are you home? I need your help. After a night, do you know you are wrong?" Zhuang Zhongming sneered and said to himself, "Your mother and I have discussed it. You should prepare some gifts and go to the Xia family with us. You don't have to go in. Just kneel at the gate of the Xia family and admit your mistake. Say that you said you wanted to cancel the engagement yesterday because you were impulsive and not in a clear mind. First, get your uncle Xia's forgiveness, and then coax Xia Wan well, recognize your status, and show your attitude and love." Zhuang Yan was impatient and interrupted him directly. "Mr. Zhuang, you seem to have misunderstood something. I came to you today to sever ties with you, not to continue being a dog." The phone, which was on speaker, was silent for a few seconds, as if it had suddenly become stuck, and it made a sound again after a while. "What did you say? Didn't you say yesterday that if I wanted to cancel the engagement, I had to sever ties with you first? I've asked my lawyer to print out the agreement, and I'll go find you now. Just sign it." "Zhuang Yang, do you know what you are talking about?" Chapter 10, Fuck the Parental Love. "I'm speaking human language, so of course you know what I'm saying, or do you not understand?" Zhuang Zhongming's gnashing voice came from the phone. "Okay, Zhuang Yang, your bones have grown hard. You dare to talk to me like this?" He didn't know whether his bones were hard or not, but his life was quite hard. After all, he had died once. "That's how I spoke to you yesterday. If you don't like to hear it, you won't be able to hear it after we break up." Zhuang Zhongming was furious and swore loudly on the phone. Just by the sound of their voice, Zhuang Yang could imagine how far their saliva was spraying. Zhuang Zhongming is 50 years old this year, and has lived more than half of his life. In his previous life, Zhuang Zhongming lived to be 70 years old, which is not considered longevity for ordinary people. But at least it's better than him. After he took over all the business of the Zhuang family, Zhuang Zhongming retired and became the chairman. He didn't care about things, but he still had a lot of power in his hands. After he turned 60, he traveled to various places. When he had nothing to do, he would go fishing and grow flowers. He lived a very comfortable life and even had time to bring his mistress back home to support her. Tang Jing was angered to death by her mistress, and she was quite young when she died. Speaking of which, Zhuang Zhongming's cheating happened in recent years. Zhuang Yan once thought that although the Zhuang family was selfish, Zhuang Zhongming and Tang Jing at least loved each other. Later he realized that he was overthinking. Selfish people always love themselves, so how could they love others? "I'll bring a lawyer to Zhuang's house at 2 o'clock in the afternoon." After saying that, Zhuang Yang decisively hung up the phone. Songlu, who was standing by, listened to their whole story from beginning to end. All his confusions were explained, and he finally understood why Zhuang Yang was in a hurry to leave the Zhuang family. Listen to what Zhuang Zhongming said. He didn't even have the most basic respect for the child. He was simply treating the child like a dog. Fortunately, Zhuang Yan was not affected and was very happy to retort. Zhuang Yang has repeatedly broken his preconceived impression of him in the past 2 days, and he almost doesn't recognize him anymore. Zhuang Yang hung up the phone and turned around. He saw Songlu staring at him blankly. After thinking for a while, he explained, "I have to irritate him. I'm afraid he won't agree." "Bro, you've made it. You made him angry. Aren't you afraid that he will target you in the future?" Zhuang Yan calmly poured himself a cup of hot water and said, "If I didn't make him angry, he would still target me." Yes, just asking Zhuang Yang to pay child support is outrageous enough. 300 million is not enough even if Zhuang Yang is sold. If Zhuang Zhongming insists on getting the money, he will have to go to court. Songlu sorted out the information, and at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, the two drove directly to the banker. Zhuang Zhongming and Tang Jing were both there. As soon as Tang Jing saw Zhuang Yan, she started to yell hysterically, "If I had known you would become so disobedient, I should have drowned you. You killed your own sister when you were 5, and now you're harming our family again. I spent half my life giving birth to you and worked so hard to raise you, and this is how you repay your parents. You murderer, you killed your own sister. You will have to work in the banker's house for the rest of your life to atone for her sin." The sharp and piercing voice was like nails scratching on a blackboard, which was creepy. This was the first time Songlu encountered such a situation, and he couldn't help but take a step back. He looked at Zhuang Yang worriedly, but found that he had a calm expression. Whenever Zhuang Yang disobeyed and tried to resist, Tang Jing would go crazy, curse him with the most vicious words, and morally blackmail him. Zhuang Yang was afraid to return to this home and face such a mother. But he had to face it. In his previous life, Zhuang Yang had brainwashed himself into thinking that this family needed him. Tang Jing would go crazy from time to time, beat him, spit on him, and curse him. After venting her anger on him, she would return to normal and would not hurt herself. He is so disobedient. I want to kill him. Okay, I'll help you. I want him to kneel down. He is a murderer. Yes, you are right, he is a murderer. He doesn't deserve to be our son. We can't love him. He should atone for our little coup. I no longer love him. He won't listen to us now. Is he going to destroy our family? He has already destroyed it once. Zhuang Zhongming comforted her very gently. No, I am here, I will protect our home. There was no logic in what the madman said, but these words came from her heart. Songlu felt a chill down his spine when he thought of Zhuang Yan growing up in such an environment. He didn't agree with him leaving home before, but now he wishes he could give Zhuang Yan a pair of wings. What kind of home is this? It's simply a madhouse and a slaughterhouse. How much has he been through to remain calm today? Zhuang Yang has heard too many words like this. In short, in this family, he is a criminal. He does not deserve to live as a human being. He can only be a dog. The meaning of his existence is to open his chest when they are unhappy and let them stab his heart with a knife one by one. Tang Jing picked up the ashtray on the coffee table and was about to hit Zhuang Yan with it. If this thing hit him on the head, his head would be broken into pieces. Zhuang Yang didn't hide or stop her, but stared at her. "Ms. Tang, are you sure you want to go crazy in front of your lawyer? If you dare to do something to me today, I will call the police and entrust the lawyer to file a case directly." Zhuang Zhongming hugged Tang Jing and said, "It's all because of you that your mother got sick. You're so angry with her. Are you happy to see her go completely crazy? I said, if she is sick, she should go to the hospital instead of taking advantage of the illness to do whatever she wants." Tang Jing stared at Zhuang Yan. "Are you calling me a psychopath? Munchausen syndrome, you should be familiar with it." This seemed to be a response to Tang Jing, but Zhuang Yan was looking at Zhuang Zhongming. Zhuang Zhongming was obviously stunned for a moment, and there was more panic in his eyes when he looked at Zhuang Yan. "Mr. Zhuang, I want to talk to you alone about the next matter." If he refused, he wouldn't mind exposing the scandal in public. Zhuang Zhongming no longer had his previous calmness and confidence. He comforted his wife and whispered soothing words in her ear. To outsiders, this scene seemed quite beautiful. Even though his wife was sick, he still loved her. Some illnesses will eventually become real if you pretend to have them for too long. Zhuang Zhongming took Tang Jing to the bedroom and had the servants look after her, then called Zhuang Yang to the study. Zhuang Yang looked at Songlu, who was a little reserved, and told him with his eyes that everything would be fine. Zhuang Yang said on their way that everything would go smoothly. I don't know whether he is sure or too confident, but Songlu still chooses to believe him. Entering the study, Zhuang Yan calmly took out the agreement and said, "I don't want anything from the Zhuang family. If there is no problem, just sign it." Zhuang Zhongming was not affected. He sat in the boss chair, lit a cigarette, then opened a drawer and took out the account book. "I told you that if you want to break off relations with us, you should return the money first." He didn't believe that Zhuang Yan could come up with 300 million. The 300 million not only includes child support, but also the losses in recent years after he joined the company were put on his head. It was simply shameless. Seeing these detailed terms, Zhuang Yan was amused. "Mr. Zhuang, I am not discussing with you, I am informing you. I have lived with my grandmother since I was 6 years old. She raised me until I was 18. I don't know how you got the nerve to ask me to return 300 million. How these accounts came about, only you know. Don't talk nonsense to me. If you really make me angry, I don't mind exposing the fact that Ms. Tang killed her youngest daughter and let her eldest son take the blame. Chapter 11, Stinky House and Evil Parents. Zhuang Zhongming couldn't sit still any longer. Do you have any evidence? How dare you say that? It has been 18 years. Zhuang Yan was only 5 years old back then and his memories are vague. What evidence can there be? So when you said I was a murderer, did you have any evidence? Your mother saw it, and the servants at home saw it too. Then may I ask, with a 1.2 meter high guardrail, a 5-year-old child is less than 1 meter high. How did they throw a 3-year-old child down the building? Zhuang Yang sneered, posted online, I'm sure many netizens will help me explain. Zhuang Zhongming slammed the table and stood up, his eyes bloodshot, trying to overwhelm him with his momentum. In the parent-child relationship, parents are in an absolutely dominant position. Absolute power means absolute dictatorship. Even if they know they are wrong, they will not admit it. Zhuang Zhongming habitually puts pressure on, hits, and uses sticks to educate Zhuang Yang. In his eyes, his son is not a son, but more like a useful tool. 55-year-old Zhuang Yang has long seen through the phenomenon to the essence of the matter. In fact, his mental age is now older than Zhuang Zhongming. Zhuang Yang continued, after her little daughter was seriously injured, a mother didn't rush to call the emergency number. Instead, she grabbed her son and yelled at him. She also had to wait for her husband to come back before sending her daughter to the hospital. The second floor is 5 meters above the ground, and there is grass below. Falling from the upper floor does not necessarily mean death on the spot. It is very likely that she lost too much blood and missed the rescue time. As the only guardian on the scene, the mother did not reflect on her own mistakes but blamed a 5-year-old child, calling him a murderer and a demon. Is this normal? As for you, as a father, you deliberately emphasized that I killed my sister, made me face the police interrogation alone, forced me to confess, and in order to better control me, you even blackmailed me morally for years. Zhuang Zhongming could no longer maintain his lofty dignity. He began to tremble, began to sweat, and panic appeared in his eyes. He met Zhuang Yang's eyes. What kind of eyes were those? It was like a black abyss staring at you, trying to pull you in. Zhuang Zhongming stumbled back and held onto the table in panic. This is just your guess. Really? Zhuang Yang took out his mobile phone, retrieved a medical report, and pushed it under Zhuang Zhongming's nose. Zhuang Zhongming took a closer look and saw that it was a medical examination report on Tang Jing's stay in the mental hospital. Munchausen syndrome is an extreme psychological disorder that often occurs in mothers. In order to gain attention and sympathy from people around them, they will deliberately harm, abuse, or even kill their children. She loved you too much. After giving birth to our daughter, she felt that she had deprived you of your attention. In order to highlight her own presence, or to regain all your love, she chose to kill her daughter. She was not worthy of being a mother, not even a human being. In order to satisfy her own selfish desires, she not only killed her daughter, but also destroyed her own son. When Zhuang Yang said this, it was as if he was telling someone else's story. He had already experienced great sorrow, and even now when he repeated it, his heart still ached slightly. He placed his hands on the table and leaned forward slightly to approach Zhuang Zhongming. In order to cover up the truth, you renovated this place and sealed the balcony on the second floor with glass, but I can still find the photos from that year here. I am not a demon, nor am I the murderer who killed my sister. 2 children under the age of 5 must be looked after by adults. If something happens, the person who is responsible for looking after them will be the first person responsible. This is a clause written in the law. The railing on the second floor is so high that only an adult could lift a 3-year-old child and throw him down. My mother was the only one there at the time, so she is the murderer. In order to protect her and cover up the truth, you destroyed me and made me bear the crime of murder. Once I proved that I was not wrong, she went crazy. The bottomless dark eyes stared straight at Zhuang Zhongming. Zhuang Zhongming shrank back and wanted to retort, but his neck seemed to be entangled by a rope and his face turned pale. Zhuang Yang stood up straight, raised the corners of his lips, and smiled gently. This smile was like the sunshine in winter. What do you think netizens will think of Zhuang Jiao if I post this matter in its entirety? Will the police help me reinvestigate it? Will you be able to save your face by then? You dare! Zhuang Zhongming shouted angrily. His voice was loud, but the damage value was 0, and it did not have any deterrent effect. His panic became more and more obvious, and he no longer had the calmness he had just now. "Do you think I dare?" Zhuang Yan laughed, and his dark eyes gradually brightened. "Don't even think about betting with me, because you can't afford it. Just sign it while I can still control myself. If you delay for too long, I can't guarantee what crazy things I will do." Zhuang Zhongming was shaking, not knowing whether he was angry or afraid. He pretended to be calm and said, "The Zhuang family has a fortune of more than 1 billion. You are the only child of the Zhuang family. Sooner or later, all this property will be yours. Don't you really want it? I find your things dirty. If possible, I wish I had never been born in a banker's family and never become your child." "Okay, okay, okay." Zhuang Zhongming said, "Okay," 3 times in a row. He was so angry that his hands were shaking. He picked up a pen with trembling hands and wrote his name forcefully. "Zhuang Yang, don't regret it." Seeing Zhuang Zhongming finally signed his name, Zhuang Yang put away the agreement and said as he sorted it out, "I have nothing to regret for leaving a good person to be your dog. Instead of worrying about me, you should worry about yourself, the accomplice of murder. They are the ones who truly deserve the punishment." Zhuang Yang, who has received the parent-child severance certificate, has finally walked out of this prison. "If it weren't for my grandmother raising me, I would have died long ago. You are not worthy of being a father, nor worthy of being a son. For the sake of so-called decency, you have let her down." Zhuang Yang said word by word. When mentioning his grandmother, a rare flash of guilt and regret flashed across Zhuang Zhongming's eyes. Zhuang Yang turned around and left without hesitation. Seeing him walk out intact, Songlu breathed a sigh of relief and asked in a low voice, "Did you sign? Did he not embarrass you?" "Signed." Zhuang Yang handed over the agreement. Songlu checked it carefully and put it away carefully after making sure there was no problem. From today on, once he walks out of this door and leaves this house, Zhuang Yan will officially sever ties with Zhuang Zhongming and the others, and will also give up his inheritance rights to the Zhuang family. Tang Jing seemed to have a premonition that Zhuang Yang was going to leave. She rushed out of the bedroom and screamed loudly despite the servant's attempts to stop her, "Zhuang Yang, you are not allowed to leave. You are my son, I gave birth to you. You have to be responsible for me and atone for your sister's death. Don't even think about leaving here." Because once he walked out, she would be the one to bear the sin, and she could not bear it. Zhuang Yang remained indifferent and let Tang Jing say those vicious words. After not listening for many years, he regarded those words as musical notes. Today, he is no longer the Zhuang Yang who could be easily brainwashed. He has awakened and is no longer a tool. When Tang Jing went crazy, she lost her usual dignity and grace. No one would pity her because she was a violent person. Everyone in the villa had a numb expression, as if they were no longer surprised by such things. Tang Jing would not allow her son to escape from her control, so she resorted to her old tricks, calling out her dead daughter's name. "Xiaoku, Mom knows you are still at home. Your brother killed you, and now he wants to leave and ignore Mom and Dad. He is a beast." Everyone in the family knew that as long as Tang Jing called him Xiaoku, Zhuang Yan would have to compromise and kneel down to admit his mistake. With a sense of guilt, Zhuang Yan listened to Tang Jing very much, but today, no matter how Tang Jing cried, made a fuss, or shouted, he just watched indifferently. Seeing Tang Jing mumbling, Zhuang Yang raised his thin lips, pointed behind her and said, "Don't call her sister, she's smiling at you over your shoulder." The furious and crazy Tang Jing suddenly became quiet, her face turned visibly pale, and fear could be seen in her eyes. It turns out that she is afraid too. After using all her tricks, Tang Jing found that Zhuang Yang was no longer under her control as usual, and she began to scream. This time it's really crazy. People who pretend to be crazy will eventually go crazy. This is what Tang Jing was like. The shrill, broken sound filled the living room. She collapsed on the ground, grabbing her hair and tearing it. Songlu grabbed Zhuang Yang and retreated, stopping only when they were at a safe distance. Chapter 12, Going on a blind date right after breaking up an engagement. Songlu was originally worried that Zhuang Yang would be sad, but when he looked over, he saw that Zhuang Yang was squinting his eyes and watching the farce with a mocking look. He seemed to find Tang Jing's madness amusing. Zhuang Zhongming was also forced to walk out of the study. Looking at his crazy wife and indifferent son, he couldn't help but examine himself and wonder if he had done anything wrong over the years. Zhuang Yang had seen enough of the drama, so he called Songlu and said, "Let's go." Tang Jing stopped yelling and said anxiously, "You are not allowed to leave. If you leave, what will happen to the Xia family? Who will marry Xia Wan? Husband, tie him up and lock him in the basement. Don't let him leave." Seeing that Zhuang Zhongming was unmoved, Tang Jing rushed forward and beat him. "Didn't you hear me? I asked you to have someone tie him up. Now that he's gone, what will happen to the business we agreed on? This doesn't sound like something a madman would say. Zhuang Yan, come back here. If you dare to leave, I will die in front of you." Zhuang Yang said sarcastically, "Then just go and die. Jump off a building, take sleeping pills, slit your wrists, drown, hang yourself, whatever you want to die. It's just right that you can apologize to your daughter after you die." Zhuang Zhongming interrupted him loudly. "Zhuang Yang, that's enough." "What's enough? Isn't her shouting, 'Die,' a threat to me? She has used the same trick countless times over the years, and she is not tired of it, but I am tired of seeing it." Zhuang Zhongming was trembling all over. Was he afraid that Tang Jing would be upset and get into trouble? No, he was afraid that the Zhuang family's scandal would be known to more outsiders. Tang Jing, who was on the verge of collapse, leaned against Zhuang Zhongming, as if she had found her backbone. "Husband, take all his cards and don't give him a penny. If he dares to leave here, let him starve to death outside." This time Zhuang Yang said nothing, but just sneered. That sarcastic look was more hurtful than any words. He left without looking back, leaving Tang Jing to roar unwillingly. In the end, even Zhuang Zhongming couldn't stand it anymore and cursed a few times. The noise seemed to be about to blow the roof off their house. Zhuang Yan walked out of the door and looked up at the sky. The blue sky and white clouds seemed to indicate that his future would be bright. Song Lu exhaled and patted Zhuang Yang on the shoulder. "Don't be sad." "Which I saw him sad." Zhuang Yang chuckled. "I won't be sad about irrelevant things." "That's right." Song Lu had a complicated expression. "It's not easy for you to grow up with these parents and in this environment. I finally understand why you are so anxious to leave this family." Zhuang Yang didn't want to say more about the past. What's past is past, and one should look forward. Song Lu had a lot of questions he wanted to ask, such as how his sister died. He had known Zhuang Yang for so many years but never knew he had a sister. But fearing to touch Zhuang Yang's sore spot, Song Lu chose to keep silent. "You and Xia Wan broke off the engagement, and now you have severed ties with the Zhuang family. So, do you think these two families will still have business dealings? That's their business and has nothing to do with me." In his previous life, the banker did get through some difficulties with the help of the Xia family, but if Zhuang Yan hadn't run around to do business and made the partners trust him, the banker would still not have made it to the end. It is better to rely on yourself than on others. If you always rely on others for help, you will not go far sooner or later. Song Lu thought differently from Zhuang Yang. For example, how will Zhuang Yang live in the future? Will the Zhuang family and the Xia family target him and make it impossible for him to stay in Rongchen? Does Zhuang Yang still have money on him now? Who will the banker give all his wealth to? Will he create one now? Or adopt one? For such a family, it is hard to tell whether an adopted child is a blessing or a curse. "Zhuang Yang, we are brothers, you are my good buddy, if you have any difficulties, just tell me. Then introduce me to a job." Zhuang Yang looked serious, and Song Lu thought he was really short of money, so he started to think of various jobs that could be assigned to Zhuang Yang. Zhuang Yang is both capable and good-looking. Ordinary jobs are not worthy of such a young master, but good jobs are also likely to be blocked and targeted. Song Lu scratched his head and said, "You know what, I really have a high-paying job. As long as I sign the contract, I will get 200,000, and there will be commissions in the future. If I become famous, I will get at least 1 million. For many ordinary people, saving 1 million in their lifetime is enough for Zhuang Yang to get through this buffer period." Zhuang Yang became interested. "What kind of job?" "Some time ago, I helped a director friend draft several agreements and contracts. He is currently preparing a variety show and is currently in need of staff." Song Lu explained it in detail, and Zhuang Yang felt more and more familiar with it the more he listened, until he heard the name of the variety show and suddenly remembered it. Love on the Road is a slow variety show about love and romance. 3 pairs of men and women were invited to the show. There are both ordinary people and entertainers on the show. This variety show quickly became popular at the time and became a big hit. It has been so long that Zhuang Yan can't remember clearly. He only remembers that there was a lot of noise online. After all, it was broadcast live and there were all kinds of situations. Some small actions would be magnified infinitely. The people who participated in this program in the previous life were all outstanding people in their respective industries and they were very popular. Compared with them, Zhuang Yan seemed ordinary. Give me the director's contact information and I'll talk to him. Songlu was prepared for Zhuang Yan's refusal. When he heard him agree, he was stunned for a moment and quickly said, "Okay, given your situation, the director will definitely want you." "What do you mean?" "You are very popular now. The whole internet is discussing you. Although it's not good, you have your own traffic. If you appear on the show in front of the public, maybe you can clear your name." Zhuang Yang has never been in this industry, but that doesn't mean he doesn't understand it. If he wants to make quick money, this is an opportunity. When the director heard that Songlu wanted to introduce Zhuang Yang to the show, he immediately expressed his desire to have a good talk with Zhuang Yang. Zhuang Yang was not idle either. Through Songlu's introduction, he contacted the director and arranged a meeting place and time on the same day. "I thought that after the meeting we would have to have a good discussion before deciding whether to hire him or not, but I didn't expect the director to prepare a contract directly. Zhuang Yang, I heard about your story. I very much welcome you to join my show. Here is the contract. Take a look, if there is no problem, just sign it." After the director quickly looked at Zhuang Yang, his eyes lit up, like a person who has been hungry for a long time facing a pile of delicious food. "Director, don't you think about it carefully? My reputation is not very good now, and I just broke off the relationship with the banker, and I don't have a job yet. Lawyer Song has already told me all this. Reputation is something that comes from other people's mouths. Only people who know you know what kind of person you are. This show will allow more people to get to know you." After a short time together, the director fell in love with the humble young man in front of him. Besides, apart from anything else, Zhuang Yang had a really good-looking face, and with his many years of experience, this show would definitely be a hit. The director has been in the entertainment industry for many years, and he doesn't believe what is said on the internet. Zhuang Yang looked at the contract carefully. After confirming that there was no problem, he picked up the pen and asked, "Director, do we have a script?" "There is no script, just be yourself. After all, it is a live broadcast, and no matter how complete and good the script is, there will be a day when it will be exposed." The director drank tea while watching Zhuang Yang sign. Fearing that he might go back on his word, he immediately picked up the contract after he signed. "Do you have a Weibo account?" Zhuang Yang nodded. "Let's follow each other." The director took out his phone and said, "Please verify your real name on Weibo." "Urgent." "Of course it's urgent. The recording will start the day after tomorrow. Remember to pack your luggage and come early. Don't be late." The director repeatedly reminded Zhuang Yang. Zhuang Yang took out his mobile phone, followed the director, and began to verify his account. It can be seen that the director is really busy. After the contract was signed, he was called away by a phone call. He patted Zhuang Yang on the shoulder and said, "Don't be nervous. Just let it go. Take care of your mentality in the next 2 days." Zhuang Yang nodded. Here, as soon as the two of them followed each other, netizens started to pick up on the topic. Through information provided by netizens, Zhuang Yang learned that this was an observation variety show. In addition to the guests being broadcast live, there were also off-site observers. Observers will watch the live broadcast in the studio, spark topics, and discuss with netizens to resonate with them. The staff will be responsible for editing the disputes and hotspots of both sides into a feature film. According to the artist schedule released by netizens, Jiyu Qian will appear in the show as an observer. Zhuang Yang finally understood why the director's eyes lit up when he saw him. I have to say that contemporary netizens still have a bit of a detective in them. The director just followed Zhuang Yang, and then someone discovered him. Zhuang Yang didn't even pass the authentication, but netizens accurately analyzed that he was Zhuang Yang from the text he posted on Weibo. When the certification was passed, private messages and comments exploded, and it also became a hot topic, and the discussion became more and more heated. #Zhuang Yang Lianzong. #Jiyu Qian, Xia Wan, Zhuang Yang love triangle. #Jiyu Qian observes Zhuang Yang's love affair. #Rivals come to meet. #Zhuang Yang just broke up and went on a blind date in a variety show. #Love on the road show guests. #Zhuang Yang love on the road. Zhuang Yan was annoyed by the Weibo notifications, so he simply protected himself with one click. As soon as the settings are completed, a text message notification pops up. Xia Wan, you want to go to a blind date show? You are not allowed to go. Do you hear me? Zhuang Yang saw it, but he ignored it. After returning home, he took his clothes and went to take a shower. When he came out of the shower, he saw a few more text messages on his phone. Xia Wan seemed to be addicted to controlling others. They had nothing to do with each other, so why should she care about him? When Ji Qian was an actor and filmed intimate scenes with others, she didn't care so much. Zhuang Yan, reply to my message. Can you please stop making trouble? Don't joke about this kind of thing. You're participating in this kind of show right after you called off your marriage. What do you think of me? How many more people do you want to laugh at me? Zhuang Yang suddenly realized that it was because of his participation in the variety show that she felt implicated and embarrassed. You feel ashamed now, but why didn't you feel ashamed when you ran away from your marriage yesterday? As expected, this slap only hurts when it hits my own face. The marriage that should be called off has been called off, the relationship that should be severed has been severed, and there is no need to contact each other in the future. Thinking of this, Zhuang Yang decisively blocked and deleted Xia Wan. Chapter 13, Forced to break off the engagement. You are not allowed to participate in this kind of variety show. You are not an artist and you will only make a fool of yourself. The message has been sent, but was rejected by the other party. The other party turns on friend verification, and you return him her friend. Zhuang Yang actually blocked and deleted her? Unable to believe it, Xia Wan called Zhuang Yang again, and the system tone prompted that the other party was on the phone. Even the phone number was blocked. All the built-up confidence collapsed in an instant. But at this time, people always ask her, have you really broken off the engagement with Zhuang Yang? Is Zhuang Yang really going to participate in a blind date variety show as rumored online? Xia Wan was so angry that her scalp went numb. She grabbed an ornament on the bedside table and threw it on the ground. After breaking it, she realized that it was a photo of her and Ji Qian. After Ji Qian went abroad, she kept this photo very well and kept it on her bedside table. I have kept the photo for 5 years, and now I just smashed it to pieces because I am so angry with Zhuang Yang. The glass protecting the photo shattered into pieces. Xia Wan's anger was completely unprovoked, and the huge noise attracted the attention of people outside. The servant knocked on the door cautiously. Miss, are you okay? I'm fine, don't worry about me. Xia Wan suppressed his anger and looked at the glass fragments on the ground with a gloomy face. After a while, footsteps were heard outside, and this time it was Xia Qingshan who called Xia Wan. Wan, Aunt Zhang said you made a loud noise in the room. Open the door and I'll go in and take a look. Xia Wan said impatiently, I'm really fine. Open the door. Xia Qingshan's tone became more serious and he would not tolerate any refusal. Facing his father, Xia Wan reluctantly opened the door. As soon as Xia Qingshan entered, he saw broken glass on the ground. He frowned and told the servant to clean the room. When did you come back? Did you eat? I came back in the afternoon and had a little meal. She came back after meeting Zhuang Yang. She had insomnia last night, so she went to the bedroom and slept after returning to Xia's house. I slept until 8 o'clock and got up to drink a bowl of porridge. I had no appetite and no energy. She was planning to go back to her room and continue sleeping, but her friend called her at this time to ask about Zhuang Yang's cancellation of the engagement and asked her if she had dealt with it. She felt ashamed and didn't tell the truth. Now her father also comes to ask her. Have you met Zhuang Yang? Her father was not so easy to fool. Xia Wan lowered her head and said, I have seen him. What's his attitude? That's it. Already reconciled. Xia Qingshan's idea was very simple. As long as Xia Wan coaxed him and gave him a way out, it would be fine. Given the relationship between the two families, Zhuang Yang had no reason to cancel the engagement. Xia Wan said nothing. Seeing this, Xia Qingshan frowned and asked tentatively, You haven't reconciled yet. What did you talk about when you met? I have said everything I need to say. I know I was wrong and I admit it. I also said that I would compensate him. He is petty and selfish. He deliberately made a big deal out of it to embarrass me. He wants to cancel the engagement and cut off ties with me. Now he has even blocked my contact information. She was so embarrassed that she couldn't say a word about Zhuang Yan's participation in a dating variety show. Xia Qingshan's face darkened after hearing this. Does he think he has the final say on this marriage? If he wants to cancel it, just do it. You don't have to worry about him from now on. Leave him alone for a few days. He will give in when he thinks it through. His tone was very disdainful. Is that really the case? But she felt that Zhuang Yan would not give in this time. Dad, what does the banker say? He called me at noon to apologize and said he would bring Zhuang Yan to the Xia family to apologize. For the sake of the two families' reputation, I originally wanted to let it go. After all, you were the one who did the wrong thing first, so it's normal for him to be angry. But now, he won't back down if you give him a way out. Then there's no need to give it up. Even if the Zhuang family comes to apologize, don't give in easily. You haven't even gotten married yet, and Zhuang Yang dares to turn his face away. Don't you have to depend on his mood when you get pregnant and have a child? Xia Qingshan's words did not comfort Xia Wan. She asked, Dad, what if Zhuang Yang breaks off relations with his parents in order to break off the engagement with me? Xia Qingshan sneered, how is that possible? How is it impossible? Zhuang Yan would give in again and again when he cared about them, but what if he didn't care anymore? After all, his parents were not good to him. Xia Qingshan understood Xia Wan's concerns. If you are worried, I will call the banker. Xia Wan really wanted to know Zhuang Jia's current attitude and Zhuang Yang's situation. In front of Xia Wan, Xia Qingshan took out his cell phone and called Zhuang Zhongming. The waiting process was extremely painful. Xia Wan was a little nervous, afraid of hearing a result she didn't want to hear. The call was connected, and the other party picked up the phone. Zhuang Zhongming's slightly flattering voice came from the other end. Boss Xia, what do you want to talk to me about so late? I just want to ask what's going on with Zhuang Yang now. Why is he still making a fuss about breaking off the engagement? This question is not difficult. At least in Xia Qingshan's opinion, Zhuang Yang has no reason to cancel the engagement. It is a thankless task, so why bother to end up with nothing just because of a momentary impulse? It was such an easy question to answer, but the other party remained silent. Even though Xia Qingshan was slow to react, he realized something was wrong. What's going on? Is he really going to break up with my daughter? Boss Xia, you also know that parents cannot interfere in emotional matters. We can only let the two children solve it themselves. Zhuang Yang has grown up and has a stubborn mind. I have said what I want to say and scolded him. Xia Qingshan sneered, so you want to cancel the engagement now? Zhuang Zhongming has unspeakable suffering. You can cancel the engagement, but you can return the money as well. My daughter is outstanding, and she can find any man she wants. It's his blessing to like Zhuang Yang, but he doesn't know how to cherish her. There are many people who do. Do you really think that without your family, my daughter won't be able to get married? As long as my daughter wants, she can find any man she wants. Zhuang Zhongming said helplessly, yes, you are right. Wan is excellent, but Zhuang Yang is not worthy of her. Zhuang Yang has severed ties with us now. I really can't do anything to him. We are the ones who have let your daughter down. You are angry and ask us to do anything, but the money invested in the project can't be recovered. Or you can give us a little more time to make ends meet. Although the phone was not loudspeaker activated, it was still possible to hear clearly in a quiet enough environment. When I heard that Zhuang Yang had severed ties with his family in order to break off the engagement, Xia Wan's heart paused, as if it was pulled hard by a hand. Zhuang Yang really severed ties with the Zhuang family. He would not marry her. He was very strict and picky with his family, but he was submissive to the Xia family. He bowed and apologized solemnly, Mr. Xia, let's make an appointment to discuss the project. Although the two children are not destined to be together, the interests of our two families are still there, and this business will not lose money. Xia Qingshan was furious. I don't want to do business with someone who doesn't keep his word. After saying that, he hung up the phone. Seeing Xia Wan's distraught look, Xia Qingshan didn't know how to comfort her. 10 minutes ago he swore that Zhuang Yang was incapable of breaking off the engagement, but 10 minutes later he was slapped in the face. What is this? Xia Qingshan thought for a long time but couldn't figure out what Zhuang Yang was thinking. Doesn't he like his daughter? How can he just give up like that? They are going to get married soon. Wan, do you like Zhuang Yang very much? If you like him, I will ask someone to tie him up and bring him here. Xia Wan came back to her senses, raised her sore eyelids and said, I don't like him. He is nothing. There are so many people who like me. I don't have to be with him. If he wants to leave, then let him leave. Hearing her say this, Xia Qingshan also breathed a sigh of relief. I'm glad you think so. If you think about it carefully, if Xia Wan really fell in love with Zhuang Yan, she wouldn't have broken her promise and run away from the marriage yesterday. Xia Wan gritted her teeth and said, but if we want to cancel this marriage, we have to do it, otherwise I won't be able to let go of this anger. Do whatever you want to do. Dad supports you. Chapter 14 Just Friends. Xia Wan was too conceited. She thought that no matter what happened, Zhuang Yan would not leave her. He was like the jewelry in her box, left there motionless, even if it was covered with dust, old, or broken, it would not disappear. It could not run away on its own. Therefore, she found it so hard to accept Zhuang Yan's sudden decision to break off the engagement. Xia Qingshan was originally quite angry that Xia Wan went to Ji Yuqian yesterday, but now seeing that she looked exhausted, he didn't want to scold her anymore. Have a good rest. If you can't get rid of this anger, I will help you. If he dares to do this to my daughter, I will make him unable to stay in Rongcheng. Xia Wan thought of what Zhuang Yang had said during the day. The funny thing was that she also thought she could control Zhuang Yang in this way at that time. Dad, I can handle Zhuang Yang, don't interfere. For some reason, she didn't want Zhuang Yang to leave Rongcheng or be too far away from her. This may be due to her unwillingness. There is a good saying on the internet that the best way to take revenge on your ex is to live better than him. Zhuang Yang couldn't be considered her ex, but he shouldn't have called off the engagement and blocked her without consulting her. She wanted to let Zhuang Yang see that acting on impulse would lead to nothing. Xia Qingshan, if anything goes wrong, I'll take care of you. There are many men out there, and you can find a better one, but you have to choose carefully. At least his family background should be better than the banker's. Xia Wan knew that her father was hinting at Ji Yuqian. After Xia Qingshan left, Xia Wan took out her cell phone and flipped through it, and saw that Ji Yuqian had made a video call to her 5 minutes ago. Xia Wan went back. Ji Yuqian is still in the hospital. In the video, he looks more energetic than yesterday. Are you okay? Did Uncle Xia not blame you for what happened yesterday? No. Ji Yuqian asked with concern. What about Zhuang Yan? Have you met? Have you made things clear? Xia Wan's tone was stiff. I don't want to mention him now. Ji Yuqian saw that Xia Wan looked very bad, and after a moment of hesitation, he said, Brother Zhang just told me that Zhuang Yang is going to participate in a variety show. To put it bluntly, that variety show is all about dating and hyping up couples. Zhuang Yang is your fiancé after all, how can he participate in such a show? He doesn't even take you seriously. Xia Wan's expression remained unchanged, but the hand holding the phone tightened. The news about Zhuang Yang appearing on a dating variety show spread online, and Xia Wan also saw the news. If the heat is not suppressed now, it will become a hot topic sooner or later. In the era of traffic, the people involved in these things are already popular, so it is very easy for them to be on the hot searches, but it is quite difficult to suppress them. Brother Zhang has confirmed with the director that Zhuang Yang will join the program crew for recording the day after tomorrow. When the rumors are confirmed, the Xia family will definitely be affected. Alas, Zhuang Yang is not a man at all. He doesn't care about you at all. The two families are married and they will prosper together. How can he ignore your and Uncle Xia's face? Ji Yuqian scolded Zhuang Yang in front of Xia Wan. You know a lot about this variety show. Brother Zhang accepted this variety show notice for me. Ji Yuqian immediately explained, I'm not going there to have a relationship. I'm an observer in the backstage. The contract was signed a long time ago. I have a good relationship with the director. If you don't want Zhuang Yang to record the variety show, I can talk to the director. But their contract has already been signed. If they withdraw, they have to pay a penalty. The director will definitely be reluctant to let him go. Xia Wan listened carefully, frowning, and decided to tell him the truth. I have broken off the engagement with Zhuang Yang. I can't control his affairs. After hearing this, Ji Yuqian was silent for a long time, and finally pulled the corners of his lips stiffly. How is it possible? How could he be willing to do that? Not only was he willing to break off the engagement with me, he was also willing to sever ties with the banker. This was totally beyond his expectations, but it was a good thing. But before he could be happy, he heard Xia Wan ask on the phone, "Can I participate in your variety show? You should be able to bring someone with you, but why are you going to participate? Don't you feel uncomfortable when you see Zhuang Yan?" When she thought about Zhuang Yan having a love affair with another woman on the show, she felt so angry. It was disgusting to watch, but if she couldn't see it and thought about it randomly, she would be even more upset. "You can participate if you want. I'll tell the director and you can go on stage with me the day after tomorrow. I'm afraid that netizens will speculate about our relationship again." "It's okay, let them guess. I have to deal with Zhuang Yang's case." Without waiting for Ji Yuqian to ask, she hung up the phone. She always does things her own way, and once she makes a decision, she will be very decisive. Xia Wan logged into her Weibo account and saw the Weibo post she posted yesterday. "Just friends." This was interpreted in various ways by netizens because she did not name anyone. Some thought she was clarifying her relationship with Ji Yuqian, while others thought she was talking about Zhuang Yang. As for her relationship with Zhuang Yang, it still remained as it was yesterday. No one knew that they had broken off the engagement. After all, neither family had made an official announcement. Xia Wan edited a paragraph of text and sent it out. "Mr. Zhuang Yang and I have officially called off our engagement, and we have nothing to do with each other from now on. I have tried to get along with him over the years, but I always found that I could not communicate with him at a deeper level. Since we can't be lovers, we can only be friends." Chapter 15, Ex-fiancée and her aunt. This time, Xia Wan did not control public opinion, and even bought marketing materials to intentionally mislead netizens, as if she was the victim of this marriage and was forced to be with Zhuang Yan. Now she has come to her senses, and is determined to fight for her love and draw a clear line between herself and Zhuang Yan. A video also appeared on the hot search, showing Zhuang Yang standing on the stage helplessly on one side, and Xia Wan accompanying Ji Yuqian in the hospital to celebrate his birthday on the other side. The comments below are full of sarcasm and gloating. "We are really together after the breakup." It turns out that the phrase, "just friends," was meant for Zhuang Yang, telling him not to be so sentimental. Those haters who mocked Ji Yuqian for not being worthy before, come out and see, you've been slapped in the face. This is the consequence of destroying other people's feelings. Zhuang Yang knew that Xia Wan had someone she liked, but he still pestered her to arrange a marriage. He was so afraid that he would not be able to get married. Ji Yuqian and Xia Wan are a perfect match, childhood sweethearts, reunited after a breakup. How can they be compared to someone like Zhuang Yang who just left the company? Don't feel sorry for Zhuang Yang in the comments, because feeling sorry for a man will lead to a bad ending. Zhuang Yang is just pretending. He was with Xia Wan just for money. Now Xia Wan doesn't want him anymore. He turns around and participates in a blind date show. What's going on? Is he trying to hook up with a rich woman on a variety show? Zhuang Yang is not going to hook up with a rich woman, right? He is a rich second generation after all. According to reliable sources, Zhuang Yang has been kicked out by the Zhuang family, which means he is short of money now. He has no ability, so he should not find a rich woman to support him. I hope that the sisters on the journey will open their eyes and stay away from poor men. Things developed just as Xia Wan had expected, one-sided. In order to cooperate with Xia Wan, the Zhuang group also issued a notice, stating that the Zhuang and Xia families had broken off the engagement and that they were free to date from now on. As for Zhuang Yang, it is not appropriate to say that he has severed ties with his family at this juncture, so we can only ignore him for now. There is no logic to be found on the internet. What netizens see is too one-sided. Anyone with a discerning eye can see the right and wrong, but justice can be easily changed by simply fanning the flames, and then it turns into online violence. Ji Yuqian had also been following the developments online. When he saw that Xia Wan had finally made a choice between him and Zhuang Yang, he smiled with satisfaction. However, this was not enough, so he secretly guided and instigated, and completely nailed Zhuang Yang to the third party who destroyed other people's feelings. In short, on the day when Zhuang Yang was recording the program, there was still a lot of noise on Weibo, but Zhuang Yang was not affected at all. He slept when he was tired and ate when he was tired. After simply packing my luggage, I bought a plane ticket and left Chengdu to head to the variety show recording site. This program has done a great job of keeping it secret. It's almost time for recording, but the guests haven't been announced yet, so it's all up to netizens to guess. The director saw Zhuang Yang and asked, have you seen the trending searches on Weibo? What's trending? The director gave him a meaningful look, then patted his shoulder and sighed, it's okay if you don't know. Hand in your cell phones and we will prepare new communication equipment for you. Before we record, if you want to contact anyone, please contact them as soon as possible and send a group notification. Zhuang Yan shook his head, I don't have anyone to contact. Okay, the director didn't say much, nor did he remind Zhuang Yan to check out the trending searches online. Those things would only affect one's mood. After Zhuang Yan authenticated his Weibo account, he set it to do not disturb to avoid being disturbed during his rest. Even though he hadn't watched it these past 2 days, it didn't mean he didn't know about it. It's nothing more than experiencing the online blackening that I had experienced in my previous life all over again. Jiu Qian's die-hard fans are keen on hyping up couples and pulling down others. In his previous life, even though he and Xia Wan were already married, that group of couple fans were still making trouble under his studio. Until he was 50 years old, there were people pulling down him and asking him every day whether he had divorced Xia Wan. It was so frustrating. In this life, as they wished, he did not marry Xia Wan. This should be better than being blacklisted by the entire internet in his previous life, right? It doesn't matter whether he is black or not, it won't affect his life anyway. Now being black can still bring him some popularity. After all, black and red are also red. Zhuang Yan didn't know much about variety shows. He knew that this show was very popular in his previous life, but he had never clicked on it to watch it. He thought that the name, Love on the Road, should be a program about travel. It was perfect, he could go out and have fun without spending any money and taste local food. He didn't know where the first stop would be. Zhuang Yan asked the staff indirectly, but they kept their mouths shut and didn't reveal a single word. They just looked at him with complicated eyes. Zhuang Yan felt a mixture of heartache and schadenfreude, and had a bad feeling in his heart. As the car drove farther and farther away, the surrounding city disappeared and turned into a dirt road on the hilltop. After shaking for nearly 3 hours, the car gradually stopped. Arrive. Zhuang Yan woke up from his sleep, drew aside the curtains and looked outside. The scenery was picturesque and the environment was quite good. However, the accommodation arranged here might not be familiar to people who are used to living in the city. The first stop of the love journey is in the countryside, where you can experience the local customs and culture and harvest true love through nature and labor. The production team rented a small yard without spending much money. Other dating variety shows live in big villas, but for them it became a large bungalow. Inside the house was a large round table in earthy colors and 6 plastic chairs. The bathroom is not inside the house but outside. There are 2 bathrooms in total, one for men and one for women. It is obvious that they are newly built. There is a pig pen next to the toilet and you can smell the pig manure when you pass by. Zhuang Yan was the first one to arrive, and when he had nothing to do, he helped the staff set up the camera. Seeing this environment, the barrage is going crazy. No, aren't you afraid of breaking up if you're in a relationship here? When I heard about traveling and dating, I knew it was not very reliable. You know how many couples broke up during the trip. If you do it well, you will get married. If you don't do it well, you will break up halfway. Has it started yet? Who will be the first to arrive? I heard that the people who came to participate in the show are all rich people. Now they are arranged to go to such a poor and remote place. I don't know how big a joke it will be. With the rise of endless variety shows, this type of variety show is rare, which has attracted many people to come and watch. Zhuang Yang toured the house inside and out. There were 4 bedrooms in total, 2 double rooms and 2 single rooms. Hearing some noise coming from downstairs, Zhuang Yang opened the window and looked out. Someone is coming. A black SUV drove in slowly, and as the door opened, a red figure came out. The woman had fair skin and the red dress she was wearing made her figure look sexy and hot. When she got out of the car, even the sunlight seemed to dim. Her seaweed-like hair reached her waist, her hips were firm and her long legs were seductive. She was wearing a pair of large sunglasses that covered most of her face, as if she was aware that someone was looking at her. The woman raised her head slightly and her eyes met Zhuang Yang's. Who is this? Why does it look familiar? The woman curled her red lips and hooked her finger at Zhuang Yang familiarly, motioning him to come over. Zhuang Yan was confused, thinking that the other party might need his help. He went out. The closer he got, the stronger the sense of familiarity became, until the woman spoke and took off her sunglasses. "Don't you recognize me?" Her eyes seemed to contain spring water, so charming that one glance from her could make a person's legs go weak. The staff member who was filming the woman almost lost control and dropped his camera. The people watching the live broadcast through the screen were silent for a few seconds and then started posting comments like crazy. "This is a fairy, right? The first female guest is so pretty, how can the others appear later? Will the later ones be more beautiful? She is so beautiful, she will definitely be a big hit if she enters the entertainment industry. I want to know the information of this beauty as soon as possible. Who is this man? He was with the beautiful woman to defraud insurance. I just ignored him. He seems a bit ordinary. Looks familiar, as if I've seen it somewhere recently. Isn't this Zhuang Yan? He seems to know the female guest, so he got a good deal. Zhuang Yan must be stunned, facing such a beautiful woman." Zhuang Yan was indeed stunned, but not because of looking at the beautiful woman. He did not expect to see her here, Lu Yang, Xia Wan's aunt. From the moment Lu Yang took off her sunglasses, Zhuang Yan was stunned, with mixed emotions and unable to speak. The program crew is trying to stir up trouble, right? They invited Xia Wan's aunt here, do they want to see them quarreling? Thinking that he and Lu Yang might be assigned to date together in the future, he felt horrified and frightened. Chapter 16, The Ex-Girlfriend Also Comes. Zhuang Yang asked directly, "Why did you come to participate in this variety show? You can do it, why can't I?" Lu Yang instructed him, "Go, help me take the luggage out of the trunk." Zhuang Yan was puzzled. Lu Yang was a non-marriageist in her previous life. He never heard the news of Lu Yang getting married until his death. In her previous life, I had never seen her join a dating variety show. Speaking of Lu Yang, although she is Xia Wan's aunt, she is only 4 years older than Xia Wan. He met Lu Yang a year ago. At that time, he had just confirmed his relationship with Xia Wan. During the Spring Festival, he went to her grandfather's house with Xia Wan. He and Lu Yang added each other on WeChat and left each other their contact numbers, but they rarely contacted each other privately. In his previous life, after he and Xia Wan got married, he often went to the Lu family. He treated Lu Yang as his elder and was respectful. Therefore, when he saw her in such an occasion, Zhuang Yan would feel scared. Think about the couple promotion on dating shows, where one of the female guests is your elder. This feeling is really weird. Although he has nothing to do with Xia Wan in this life, the concepts he has been familiar with for 30 years cannot be changed in a short period of time. At Lu Yang's request, Zhuang Yang moved Lu Yang's suitcase in. I don't know what was in the 2 large suitcases, they were quite heavy. When they were alone, Lu Yang leaned closer and asked, "Why, do you still treat me as your aunt?" Zhuang Yang was speechless. Lu Yang came closer, her scent lingering around his nose. She raised her hand and patted the dust off his shoulder. "You and Xia Wan have broken off the engagement, so don't treat me as your aunt. From now on, call me Lu Yang, or Sister Yang. Don't call me by the wrong name." Zhuang Yang nodded stiffly. Lu Yang seemed to be in a good mood and even hummed a song when she turned around. No one knows about his relationship with Lu Yang yet. If people knew that Lu Yang was Xia Wan's aunt, the internet would go crazy. Now everyone in the live broadcast room is asking who Lu Yang is, why she knows Zhuang Yang, and what their relationship is. The show had just begun, and Lu Yang had already become a trending topic with her beauty. Zhuang Yang looked at her back and lamented that the production crew just wanted to watch the fun and make trouble. He didn't keep it in mind all the time. He would get used to the things he was not used to after a while. This program will be recorded for a maximum of 1 month, and we will go our separate ways after this month. Zhuang Yang was originally an open-minded person. After his rebirth, he also understood the principle of contentment. As the saying goes, as long as you give money, everything will be easy. The rest of the people also arrived one after another. They all drove to this remote place by themselves. Zhuang Yang subconsciously looked at those people clearly. When he saw them clearly, his eyelids twitched and he regretted his decision for the first time. Among the female guests, in addition to Xia Wan's aunt, her best friend was also there. And Xinrong, she was the maid of honor when he and Xia Wan got married in his previous life. When he was with Xia Wan, this person often belittled and criticized him, saying that he was not as good as Ji Yuqian in every way and was not worthy of Xia Wan. Zhuang Yang could imagine how noisy it would be next. As for the other one, her appearance was not inferior to Lu Yang, but different from Lu Yang's sexiness and charm. The white haute couture dress on her looked like white camellia in the early morning, with a thin waist and long legs, as if she was here for a fashion show. Zhuang Yan's eyelids twitched because of her. She was his first love. Her name is Jiang Ning. The youngest film queen to win the Grand Slam in China. No one in the entertainment industry does not know her name. She is beautiful and has great acting skills. Even if she is not active on weekdays, she has tens of millions of fans. Ji Yuqian is not good enough in front of her. If her fans knew that their film queen had a relationship with him, they would probably drown him with saliva. Zhuang Yan still underestimated the program crew, who were able to invite Jiang Ning over. The program crew did a very good job of keeping the secret, and no news leaked out. I don't know how crazy the audience watching the live broadcast are now. Jiang Ning has always been very Buddhist in the entertainment industry. No one has ever thought that she would participate in this kind of variety show. It is not in line with her status. Secondly, she is still young and her career is on the rise. She originally had no scandals, but now she has to create a scandal for herself, and many fans are calling it a breach of reputation. The popularity of the program has reached its peak. Netizens came in to watch it, and the number of viewers exceeded 100 million, easily breaking the historical record. The more spectators there were, the more scolding Zhuang Yan received. He felt that he was losing money, and he didn't know if the little money he had could make up for the mental damage he would suffer in the future. Although he thought so, the contract had already been signed. Zhuang Yan was a man of his word and would not back down from something he had promised. As for the male guests, Zhuang Yan didn't know any of them, but in order to match the female guests, their qualifications were not bad. From the looks of it, they each had their own merits. One was a domineering boss type, and the other was a handsome young man. Zhuang Yan looked very ordinary when he arrived at that station. As a 55-year-old middle-aged man, he had no intention of dressing up. He simply washed his hair and put on a dark t-shirt randomly picked from the closet. The weather was too sunny, so he squinted his eyes and looked very listless. And Xinrong was the first to speak. Seeing Zhuang Yan, she rolled her eyes and said sarcastically, "It's so unlucky. Why does the program crew invite everyone? Also, this is a shabby place. There's not even a shopping mall. How can we live here? As soon as I came in, I smelled a foul odor. Director, can't you change the place? The variety show we're participating in is called Love on the Journey, not Death on the Road. It's so funny. If Missin can talk, please say more. Is this correct? Why would Jiang Ning come to participate in this kind of program? This should just be an ordinary variety show. It doesn't have to be about love, right? This program is really willing to spend money to invite the best actress. I am a fan of Jiang Ning. Why is she coming here instead of filming? It feels like a house collapse. All the female guests are so beautiful. If it were me, I wouldn't know which one to choose. However, my favorite is still the first one, the one called Lu Yang. She is the only amateur among the female guests. Compared to the female guests, the male guests seem a bit ordinary, especially Zhuang Yan. Is he here to be a background? I really don't know why the program team invited him here. Is he here to set off others? With the appearance of Xinrong and Jiang Ning, the number of online viewers is increasing. Being able to become good friends with Xia Wan and Xinrong's family conditions must be good. She is a real rich girl. And Xinrong has been in the entertainment industry in recent years, but has not made a name for herself in 4 or 5 years. She debuted in a girl group as an idol, but because her basic skills were not solid, she was always criticized for slacking off in the group. In a fit of anger, she quit the group. Later, she became an actress and brought in money to star in some low-cost web dramas. It was rumored online that she was a big shot, had poor acting skills, and was a vase who was not good at anything. In short, her reputation was very bad. Now she changed her career and prepared to be a variety show star. Unexpectedly, she met Zhuang Yang in the first variety show she recorded. Zhuang Yang pretended not to hear Xinrong's ridicule and walked up to greet the 2 male guests. "Hello, I'm Zhuang Yang." "Hello, my name is Fang Chen." "Ling Xian." The handsome young man is called Ling Xian, and the young boss is called Fang Chen. This was the first time the program crew gathered together, and everyone was in a state of exploring the new environment and getting familiar with the people around them. Except for Xinrong, everyone was very friendly. After all, since they were doing a live broadcast, they naturally had to maintain good relationships, at least on the surface. Zhuang Yan stood in an inconspicuous corner, smiling and not wanting to talk. He was very aware of his position and was here to be scolded. Jiang Ning walked through several people and suddenly stood in front of Zhuang Yan. Xia Yan, long time no see. The corners of her lips curled up slightly, and her voice was as gentle as a spring breeze. Zhuang Yan felt mixed emotions, but still replied to her politely. Haven't seen you for a long time. Jiang Ning didn't seem to notice Zhuang Yan's estrangement, and continued to ask, how have you been recently? I saw that you broke off the engagement. After saying this, almost everyone looked at him. I don't know if Jiang Ning is just an idiot or said it on purpose. I'm fine, thank you teacher Jiang for your concern. This is the rule in their entertainment industry. Anyone with a name will be addressed as teacher. Jiang Ning frowned slightly, with a hint of resentment flashing across his eyes. I hope that we can get along well from now on, and help each other when we have difficulties. Zhuang Yang replied politely, okay. The live camera was pointed directly at this side, and there was a tense feeling. Some people were curious about the relationship between the two, some were just watching the fun, but more people hoped that a fight would break out on the spot. And Xinrong couldn't hold back her words, so she asked directly, do you know each other? What's your relationship? Zhuang Yang was thinking about how to explain her relationship with Jiang Ning. Jiang Ning smiled and replied, let's just say we are childhood sweethearts. The words, childhood sweethearts, seem too intimate and can obviously be replaced by ordinary friends. After Jiang Ning said this, the surroundings were quiet for a moment. Jiang Ning looked at Zhuang Yan. Xia Yang, am I right? In this situation, Zhuang Yan couldn't pretend not to know him. We have known each other since childhood. Lu Yang stood behind the camera, her expression slightly changed. The live broadcast room was boiling again. Are you kidding me? How come Jiang Ning knows Zhuang Yang? They have nothing to do with each other. It feels like they have a very close relationship, not just ordinary friends. I've already said that they were childhood sweethearts, how could they be just ordinary friends? I don't know if it's an illusion, but I always feel that the way Queen Jiang looks at Zhuang Yang is not innocent. I'm curious about what happened between them. And Xinrong, please ask more questions. Is the person above blind? Which male guest here is not better than Zhuang Yang? How could actress Jiang like Zhuang Yang? Zhuang Yang is so lucky, isn't he? He knows all these female guests. Knowing him doesn't he mean I will choose him? In the observation room, Xia Wan and Ji Yuqian sat together. She eventually participated in the program with Ji Yuqian and became one of the observers. The program was recorded in Chengdu, in a specially built studio. It was Xia Wan's first time participating in a variety show and she had no experience, so she had to rely on Ji Yuqian to guide her. At first, Xia Wan was able to distract herself and talk to Ji Yuqian, but when Zhuang Yang appeared in the live broadcast, she couldn't stop staring at the screen. Xia Wan had a hidden thought in her mind. Since she couldn't stop Zhuang Yang from participating in this crappy variety show, she would discredit him and ruin his reputation so that other women would not like him. Xia Wan secretly inquired about the female guests participating in the show and only knew Xinrong. And Xinrong was her friend and naturally would not like Zhuang Yang, so she was relieved. As for the other two female guests, she used many connections to find out but failed. The program crew temporarily replaced people, and she didn't know who replaced them, so she could only watch the live broadcast on the same day. The first person to appear was Lu Yang. Xia Wan felt incredible to see her aunt appear on the show and even thought she was hallucinating. What is Lu Yang's identity? Why did he come to join in the fun? However, after seeing that it was Lu Yang, Xia Wan breathed a sigh of relief. No matter what, Zhuang Yang would never have a love affair with her aunt. When Xia Wan saw Lu Yang asking Zhuang Yang to help her move her luggage, she frowned unhappily. She felt something strange in her heart. She always felt that Lu Yang was too close to Zhuang Yang, as if there were ulterior motives. Lu Yang knew that Zhuang Yang had broken off the engagement with her and that the relationship with the Xia family was strained, but didn't she know how to be more cautious? She actually got so close to him. The last remaining female guest is also unexpected film queen Jiang Ning, who has 60 million fans on Weibo alone. Among these three, Jiang Ning is the one most likely to develop a romantic relationship with Zhuang Yan. Xia Wan inexplicably felt a sense of crisis and tightened her grip on the water glass. But on second thought, Jiang Ning is such an excellent actor and award-winning actress. She has seen all kinds of men in the entertainment industry. Zhuang Yan looks so ordinary among them. How could an excellent woman choose him? If she has to choose someone, she would choose the other two male guests. Jiang Ning definitely looked down on Zhuang Yan. Just as he thought this, he saw Jiang Ning walking straight towards Zhuang Yan. When Xia Wan saw her take the initiative to greet Zhuang Yan and explain to everyone that she and Zhuang Yan were childhood sweethearts, she almost crushed the cup in her hand. Chapter 17 Variety Show begins. Even though she knew that the scene was being recorded and the camera would record her emotions at the moment and magnify them clearly, Xia Wan just couldn't control herself and her face became terribly gloomy. She wanted to know more than anyone how Zhuang Yan knew Jiang Ning, why she had never heard that he had such a childhood sweetheart, and how many things had he hidden from her. Ji Yuqian expressed his opinion at the right time. Just like the audience in the live broadcast room, I didn't expect that Zhuang Yan and Jiang Ning knew each other. Wan, you and Zhuang Yang have known each other for the longest time. Did you know that he has such a friend? I haven't heard him say that. I don't care about his affairs. Xia Wan sneered. Do you really not care? Then why is your expression so grim at the moment? I feel like Zhuang Yang and Jiang Ning have a special relationship. These two should be the easiest to connect with. In addition to Ji Yuqian and Xia Wan, the other four observers present were the host Lila, the actor Lin Fan, the female team leader Shen Li, and the psychologist Xu Nuo. The person who said this was Shen Li, and Xia Wan glanced at her with cold eyes. At this time, someone asked again. Who is this Lu Yang? She's so pretty, she shouldn't be an internet celebrity. If she were, she would have been famous a long time ago. To avoid these people from making random connections, Xia Wan told the truth, she is my aunt. Your aunt is so young. Xia Wan said nothing. No wonder she seems to be very familiar with Zhuang Yang. I guess there's no hope for these two. I was quite fond of them at first. Xia Wan's expression, which had just relaxed, became gloomy again, and he even wanted to get up and leave. Fortunately, they started discussing other people afterwards and didn't mention Zhuang Yang anymore. Zhuang Yang had planned everything, but he never expected Jiang Ning to directly reveal their relationship in front of so many people. Was he trying to kill him online? Zhuang Yan was not so narcissistic as to think that Jiang Ning came for him. There was nothing much to say between him and Jiang Ning. After all, it was all in the past. Zhuang Yan was from the previous life, so he and Jiang Ning had been separated for more than 30 years. If he hadn't suddenly seen her today, he wouldn't have remembered it at all. And Xinrong snorted coldly, childhood sweethearts. Why have I never heard you mention that? Zhuang Yang said speechlessly, what is my relationship with you? Why should I tell you about my affairs? Why do you care about me so much? Who cares about you? You are so shameless. Since you don't care, I'll just stop interfering. Although he was prepared to be scolded, he didn't want to suffer in silence. When dealing with someone like Xinrong, if you ignore her, she will become more arrogant and demanding. In Zhuang Yang's opinion, Xinrong is like a child who has not grown up. He will not argue with her, but he will not be soft-hearted when it is time to educate her. Seeing that a quarrel was about to break out, the director immediately appeared and issued tasks. The first task was to clean the house. After cleaning the house inside and out, the director team would conduct an inspection and distribute food after passing the inspection. And Xinrong was so angry at Zhuang Yang that she vented her anger on the director. It's so big, and there are only 6 of us cleaning it. Yes, if you don't finish it, you won't have lunch. There are still 3 hours until lunch time. By the way, we will only arrange food for lunch, and you can make it yourself. This task was really old-fashioned and very tiring. Except for Zhuang Yang, all the guests present were dressed in gorgeous clothes. There were movie queens, stars, presidents, young ladies, all gathered together, and no one looked like they could do housework. And Xinrong looked at the shabby little yard with disdain. There were spider webs and bugs everywhere, which made her scalp tingle. Fang Chen was the oldest among the guests. He said, I was born in the countryside, and I am very familiar with this kind of environment. How about letting me arrange the division of labor? Everyone had no objection. The boys are strong and do a lot of the heavy work. The girls are responsible for wiping the tables and sweeping the floor. Zhuang Yan was assigned to clean the kitchen. It seems easy, but the kitchen is the place with the most oil stains. Fortunately, the program team prepared cleaning tools. He took out the bowls from the cupboard in an orderly manner, wiped them first and then washed them, and then took the washed dishes outside to dry. He also used a spatula to scrape off the grease on the edge of the pot. The originally yellow and black countertop gradually turned white. This scene was very friendly to people with obsessive-compulsive disorder. Zhuang Yan can be seen doing housework frequently, so his technique should not be too skilled. Zhuang Yan moved very quickly, and suddenly he was not so disgusted with him anymore. What kind of cleaning agent is used here? It is so clean. It is very friendly to people with obsessive-compulsive disorder. Can the program team send a link? Compared with Zhuang Yan, it was obvious that the others had never done housework and were busy and confused. Zhuang Yan was responsible for the heaviest workload, but he finished it the fastest. He cleaned up the originally dirty and messy kitchen and it became clean and tidy in less than 2 hours. After finishing, he rested on the side, drank water and watched. And Xinrong was scared by the spider web and screamed. Jiangning tidied the bedroom slowly. Lu Yang was very fast, but her skirt restricted her movements. She took off her high heels and tied the hem of her skirt into a knot. Ling Xian was standing on the stairs cleaning the ceiling and wiping the windows, while Fang Chen was dealing with the weeds outside. You thought Zhuang Yan was going to help, but no, he was just watching leisurely. Some people began to feel unbalanced, especially in Xinrong. He almost had a quarrel with Zhuang Yang just now, and now he is ordering him around like a fool. Zhuang Yang, why are you standing there like an idiot? Come over and give me a hand. Finish it quickly and cook dinner soon. I'm hungry. And Xinrong subconsciously ordered Zhuang Yang to do something. She thought Zhuang Yang would definitely come to help. After all, she had often seen Xia Wan ordering him around before, training him like a dog and making him do everything. Indeed, in such situations, any well-mannered person would step forward to help. Zhuang Yang put down the cup in his hand. Do your own thing, what does it have to do with me if you are hungry? And Xinrong was stunned. She couldn't believe that Zhuang Yang would reject him. She said angrily, you have nothing to do now, so why not help me? I have nothing to do, so why should I help you? Do you have no hands or no brains? Zhuang Yang, you. Fang Chen came out to ease the tense atmosphere. Xinrong, let me help you, I'll be done soon. Furious, and Xinrong glared at Zhuang Yang, then turned to Fang Chen and said, thank you, you are such a nice person. Unlike some people who have no gentlemanly manners or team spirit, no wonder they were dumped. The show had just begun when the conflict among the guest team escalated into personal attacks. Zhuang Yang pretended not to hear and asked the director, Director, I have finished cleaning my area. Can I go out for a walk? Of course you can, but I said that if the house is not clean, I will not distribute food to you. The director reminded him, and also wanted to see if Zhuang Yang would stay and help the team. Zhuang Yang still refused. Whatever, I'm not hungry now anyway. If it was the Zhuang Yang of the past, he would care about what people around him think of him and compromise accordingly, but now, he would not do anything that is thankless. He had a feeling that rural life would be even busier in the future. If he helped once, there would be a second time. He couldn't just be ordered around by others just because he did the work quickly. Moreover, in terms of division of labor, he has already taken on most of the work, and the girls only have to sweep the floor and wipe the table, which is already very easy. Zhuang Yang created a character for himself, a straight man with no emotional intelligence and extremely insensitive. No matter how Xinrong tried to bully him, he didn't understand. Chapter 18 Fishing Life of Middle-Aged and Elderly People. Anyway, there are millions of people scolding him, one more or one less one tea make much. The director did not stop him, then go out and come back before 1 p.m. Good. Zhuang Yang didn't walk far before strolling around. There were farmlands everywhere nearby, and there was a fish pond 500 meters away from the cabin. In his previous life, when Zhuang Yang turned 50, his greatest pleasures were fishing, growing flowers and playing chess. He took the photographer Zhuang Yang for a stroll. The village was very quiet and the air was good. People passing by stared at them curiously but did not come forward to talk to them. Seeing someone fishing, Zhuang Yang stepped forward and said, Brother, can I fish here? Yes, but it's not easy to catch. I sat here for the whole morning and only caught 2 crucian carps, which were not enough for me to eat. As soon as he finished speaking, Jiayu brother received a phone call. It was his family calling him back for dinner. I'm going back to eat. If you want to go fishing, I'll lend you this fishing rod. Just return it to me after you're done. Zhuang Yan didn't refuse and took the fishing rod from Dio Jiagan's hand. That's great, thank you. If I catch any fish, I'll give you half. Where do you live? Okay, my home is that white house. Facing the camera, the fishing brother seemed a little embarrassed. He laughed awkwardly twice and then got up and left. Zhuang Yang happily took the fishing rod, changed the fish food, and found a place to squat again. Watching others fishing was a very boring thing. Many people left Zhuang Yang's live broadcast room, and did not forget to criticize him before leaving. Let's go, it's too boring. Why go fishing when there are so many things to do? Didn't you hear that Big Brother said that fish are hard to catch? And Shinrong was absolutely right to scold him. Zhuang Yang just has no team spirit. He would rather sit here in a daze than help everyone work and eat lunch early. No wonder he was dumped by his fiancée. He deserves to be dumped. The fisherman spent the whole morning fishing and only caught 2 small fish. How could Zhuang Yang possibly catch that? He was just being cunning and sly. He might as well go back home and cook instead of wasting his time. Does a rich second generation like Zhuang Yang know how to cook? I think he just waits for the food to be ready in the hut, and then he goes back to eat the ready-made food. Don't leave any food for him, and let him eat pig food. Suddenly, the fishing rod moved. Zhuang Yang, who had a lazy look on his face, suddenly lifted the fishing rod. He felt a strong sense of falling. This fish must be very big. Zhuang Yang slowly stood up, controlled the force and slowly reeled in the fishing line. A 5 jin carp was dragged out of the water. The hater who was just complaining about Zhuang Yang not being able to catch any fish was stunned. Zhuang Yang slowly threw the fish into the fish basket, then continued to sit in the same position and continue fishing. The passers-by who had originally planned to leave stayed. It must be just a coincidence. I know, this is the novice protection period. It's noon, have the fish started to eat lunch? I will sit here today. I don't believe Zhuang Yang can catch a second fish. The fishing rod moved again. Zhuang Yang lifted the rod and from the feel of it, it felt like a 3-pound fish. What the hell? Awesome. The number of people in Zhuang Yang's live broadcast room has been increasing from 100,000 at the beginning, and now it has reached 2 million. Even the director in the small room took out his mobile phone out of curiosity to watch. Some people catch 2 small fish in a whole morning, while others catch for big fish in half an hour. Zhuang Yang has a talent for fishing. He couldn't explain this talent, but as long as there were fish in the water, he could catch them. Those who originally complained about him have now silently shut up. The only ones who can keep on criticizing him are Jiu Qian's fans. Zhuang Yang weighed the fish basket and thought that so many fish were enough to eat. He put away the fishing rod, picked up the fish basket and walked towards the fishing brother's house. Brother, I'm here to return the fishing rod. So fast, did you catch any fish? We caught 4 fish. Let's share them. Zhuang Yang put down the fish basket. 4. The fisherman came forward in disbelief. He thought Zhuang Yan was fishing for small fish, but he didn't expect the fish basket to be almost full. He weighed it and found that the basket was 15 pounds. It's really frustrating to compare yourself with others. Why can others catch so many fish just by sitting casually? That's amazing. If he is so good at fishing, if he fishes for a few more days, wouldn't he be able to catch all the fish in the pond? Brother, let's divide it. There are only 3 people in my family, so a 4 jin fish is enough for us. You can take the remaining 3 back. There are more people recording your show. We can't eat 3 fish either. Zhuang Yang thought of an idea. How about this, brother? I'll borrow your kitchen and cook these for fish together, and then we can share them. That's fine, as long as you don't mind the trouble. Fishing brother warmly invited Zhuang Yang into the kitchen and placed the side dishes and seasonings in a prominent place. With the help of the fishing brother, the 4 fish were cleaned out quickly. Zhuang Yan prepared to make fish hot pot. People could eat fish at noon and use the soup to cook vegetables at night. He made sauerkraut soup as the base to cater to everyone's taste. I left some fish fillets and cooked some fish fillet porridge. The 4 fish filled 3 full pots. From the way Zhuang Yan cooked the fish, you can tell that he is a very good cook. The fragrance can be smelled through the screen. The soup base is golden and the photographer is drooling. The fishing man asked, "It smells so good, have you learned this cooking skill?" "I learned Sichuan cuisine on purpose. The thin fish fillets should be put into the pot last. As the fish fillets are cooked, they are drizzled with hot oil. Chili peppers, onions, ginger, garlic and Sichuan peppercorns are placed on top. Finally, the hot oil is poured on and with a sizzling sound, the Maillard reaction occurs. Gulp, someone swallowed his saliva. The staff zoomed in the camera and took a close-up of the pickled fish. Is Zhuang Yang really good at cooking? Looking at the color, it feels like he could open a restaurant. I'm so hungry and want to eat. I've decided to order pickled fish takeout today. Those who said Zhuang Yang couldn't cook, please come out and slap him in the face. I made so much, I think I should share it with everyone. Zhuang Yang Ren is pretty good, he finished lunch by himself. The kitchen in the hut would explode if he cooked a meal. Some people who originally did not think highly of Zhuang Yang changed their opinion of him after watching him cook. Zhuang Yang divided the fish into 2 pots and gave half to the fishing brother and his family. The fishing brother and his family had not eaten yet, so he felt embarrassed to eat ready-made food for free, so he simply picked fresh vegetables from the ground and brought them to the cabin. On the other side, the people in the cabin finally cleaned the house. After the director checked that it was qualified, he distributed the food according to the rules. Cooking became a problem because the meals provided by the program crew were all raw. In addition, this was a wood-burning stove with a big pot and no natural gas, so the heat could not be controlled. Cooking a meal turned into a disaster scene. The kitchen that Zhuang Yang had cleaned up was now dark again. After an hour of cooking, the food was either mushy or half-cooked, not to mention the taste, which was too salty and fishy to be eaten. In the end, I could only eat boiled vegetables with porridge, which was like a diet meal with no appetite. The original amount of food for 6 people was now halved. Fang Chen took the initiative to take responsibility. "It's all my fault. I overcooked the dishes and wasted the ingredients." And Xinrong comforted him, "It's your first time, so it's normal that you didn't do it well. I just put sugar in it instead of salt." Fang Chen has been taking good care of her today. And Xinrong has a good impression of him and is willing to speak well of him. She thinks that if she is to choose a favorite guest to date next, she will choose Fang Chen. She likes gentle, considerate and mature men who can think of her in everything. Fang Chen smiled shyly, "Thank you for comforting me." And Xinrong was so hungry that she had no appetite when she saw such food. "Fang Chen, eat first, and then take a rest. We may have tasks in the afternoon. We will think about cooking in the evening." Ling Xian asked, "Where's Zhuang Yang?" And Xinrong curled her lips, "I don't know where he went to be lazy. He didn't eat much to begin with, so I simply didn't leave any for him. He didn't even participate in cooking." Chapter 19 Country Love. Zhuang Yang cleans the kitchen by himself, so why shouldn't he have the right to eat? The food is distributed according to the division of labor, and he also has a share. But you do the least and talk the most. Can you say that you have grown an extra tongue? Or did your mother never teach you to respect others? Is Liu Yang angry? Just because of Zhuang Yan? And Xinrong was stunned. It was the first time in her life that someone said such harsh words to her. This was still being broadcast live. And Xinrong's eyes were red with grievance. "Liu Yang, what right do you have to say that to me? Don't think that I dare not scold you just because you are Wanwan's aunt." Liu Yang folded her arms, "Then go ahead and curse, I'll listen." To put it bluntly, and Xinrong just has the temper of a child. To put it mildly, she is brainless, and to put it more seriously, she is uneducated. Even if you ask her to scold her, she won't be able to say anything. Liu Yang participated in this program just for herself and was not interested in other people. From in Xinrong's words, everyone got the message that Liu Yang was Xia Wan's aunt, and Xia Wan was Zhuang Yang's ex-fiancée. This kind of relationship finally makes people understand why Liu Yang knows Zhuang Yang and speaks well of him, perhaps also as an elder. Fang Chen was stunned for a moment, and said, "We can't contact Zhuang Yang without a cell phone. How about we eat first and leave Zhuang Yang's portion for him? I'll go find him. I'll go find him." Everyone looked over and saw Liu Yang and Jiang Ning speaking at the same time. The two looked at each other, and Jiang Ning's eyes were wary. "Ms. Liu, you are tired after a whole morning, so you should sit down and have a good meal. I will go find Xia Wan. I'm so angry with some people that I can't eat, so I'd like to take a walk to cool down. Also, Miss Jiang, I've wanted to remind you a long time ago that it's not good for you to call Zhuang Yan so intimately. She could see that although Jiang Ning acted very close to Zhuang Yan was still an ordinary friend to her and they didn't have any deep feelings for her. Jiang Ning said coldly, I have called him Xia Yan since he was a child. Zhuang Yan is not anxious, so why are you anxious? I'm worried that your fans will get anxious. After all, Zhuang Yan has been scolded badly online. Jiang Ning felt a lump in his throat. The atmosphere between the two was like a taut bowstring. Are they arguing now? For Zhuang Yan? The director, who had been silent the whole time, suddenly interrupted and said, no need to look for him anymore, Zhuang Yan is back. Zhuang Yan arrived home on time, and with him was the fishing brother. Both of them were holding stainless steel basins in their hands and had fresh vegetables hanging on their wrists. Zhuang Yan entered the room and clearly felt that something was wrong with the atmosphere. He put the pickled fish on the table and took the fish porridge from the fishing brother. Big brother, thank you for sending me back. It's okay. I'll leave first. Ordinary people are still not used to facing so many cameras. After putting down the dishes in his hands, the fishing brother left quickly. Zhuang Yan looked at the boiled vegetables and rice on the table as if nothing had happened. Let's eat. Ling Xian walked up and asked, where did you get this fish soup? I made it myself, using my neighbor's kitchen. Where did the fish come from? I fished. What about these dishes? I traded it for fish. 5 pairs of eyes were staring at him. Zhuang Yan was already hungry. Seeing that there was no bowl or chopsticks for him on the table, he did not get annoyed. He went to get a pair of bowls and chopsticks and drank the fish soup first before eating the fish. Zhuang Yan, aren't you hungry? What are you standing for? Eat. In the romance variety show, the seating arrangement is also a highlight. Lu Yang first sat next to Zhuang Yan's right hand, and Jiang Ning also sat next to Zhuang Yan. The meal was awkward. Looking at the food Zhuang Yan brought back, and Xinrong's previous words seemed like a joke. I feel embarrassed for Xinrong. Just now you said you wouldn't leave any food for Zhuang Yan. Does Zhuang Yang need you to leave any food for him? Compared to Zhuang Yan's pickled fish, Fang Chen's is like pig food. Isn't Fang Chen from a rural background? How come he can't even cook? Do people born in rural areas know how to cook? Seeing how delicious they are eating, I want to eat fish too. I noticed that Xinrong didn't eat a single bite. She probably felt embarrassed to eat. After all, she had been targeting Zhuang Yang before, and she said that Zhuang Yang had no team spirit and was lazy. In the end, he brought back a big pot of fish. If it weren't for Zhuang Yang, they would have been hungry all afternoon. There were more netizens who were upset in the live broadcast room, especially Lu Yang and Jiang Ning, who almost had a quarrel because of Zhuang Yang. Can actress Jiang stay away from Zhuang Yang? Zhuang Yang is just a second-hand man who was just dumped. What's so rare about a man like him? I don't object to beautiful women dating, but can you open your eyes and not pick up all the trash? Fang Chen and Ling Xian are pretty good. I believe Jiang Ning's feelings towards Zhuang Yang are just friendship. I didn't expect that the biggest winner is Zhuang Yang. His left and right hands are Jiang Ning and Lu Yang respectively. One is pure and the other is sexy. If I were him, I would be so happy. I don't know what Xia Wan would think when she saw it. It's possible that Jiang Ning likes Zhuang Yang, but it's impossible for Lu Yang. Didn't Xinrong just say that Lu Yang is Xia Wan's aunt? Zhuang Yang almost became her niece's husband, how could she like Zhuang Yang? And Zhuang Yang also offended the Xia family. I guess Lu Yang participated in this program to vent her anger for her niece. I agree. I also tend to think that Lu Yang participated in the program in order to avenge her niece. Xia Wan stared at the table of pickled fish on the screen. When he first met Zhuang Yang, he didn't know how to cook. He started learning for her. Knowing that she liked Sichuan cuisine, he found a chef to learn from, and the first dish he learned to cook was pickled fish. At noon, the observers also had to eat. There was takeaway food in front of Xia Wan. These dishes were ordered by Ji Yu Chen according to her taste. It was edible at first, but when she saw the pot of pickled fish and fish porridge in the live broadcast room, she couldn't eat it anymore. I didn't expect Zhuang Yang to be so good at cooking. This makes me want to eat pickled fish. Let's go eat pickled fish with a group tonight. What's the big deal? Zhuang Yan knows a lot. Knowing that Xia Wan had a bad temper, the other observers did not ask Xia Wan about Zhuang Yan. Xia Wan was so focused on watching Zhuang Yan's live broadcast that she missed the conversation between Jiang Ning and Liu Yang. Finally, I found out from the barrage that Liu Yang and Jiang Ning almost had a quarrel because of Zhuang Yan. They both said at the same time that they wanted to go find Zhuang Yan. Xia Wan was in a restless mood. She stared at the comments intently, trying to get some useful information from them. Maybe Liu Yang really was like what those people in the barrage said, and she went to participate in this show to help her vent her anger. Xia Wan recalled that when she was a child, she was very close to this aunt. The age difference between them was not much. When they first met, she called her sister, which made the adults around them laugh at her. She didn't know when they started to drift apart and their relationship became more and more distant. After lunch, everyone except Zhuang Yang took the initiative to clean the table and wash the dishes. According to other dating variety shows, cooking and washing dishes are done in pairs by a man and a woman, who take turns every day. Various famous scenes will appear in the kitchen, including a pink bubble maker and a large shura field. The director suggested that they draw lots to form groups. And Xinrong muttered, besides Zhuang Yang, who here can cook? Then you can't just do nothing just because Zhuang Yang can cook. I didn't say I wouldn't do it. After seeing their cooking skills today, Zhuang Yang was not afraid of anything else but food poisoning. Zhuang Yang had stomach cancer and now he has very high requirements for food. Let me cook, and you guys help out and wash the dishes. The director said, we have to divide the work, let's draw lots. Now and Xinrong had no objection. Drawing lots is a big attraction. And Xinrong doesn't want to draw Zhuang Yang. What she doesn't know is that the ones she doesn't want to draw are the ones that others want the most. Jiang Ning glanced at Zhuang Yang, picked one up, and was so nervous that his palms were sweating. Liu Yang was the last one to take it. Although she seemed nonchalant on the surface, she was actually staring at Zhuang Yang. If her eyes were threads, then Zhuang Yang would have been tightly entangled by now. It was hard not to notice such a straightforward look, and Zhuang Yang's eyes met hers as soon as he raised them. Seeing Zhuang Yang's surprised expression, Liu Yang smiled and picked up the last paper ball on the table. Everyone looked eagerly at the paper slips in their hands, wanting to see which male guest they would team up with. And Xinrong unfolded the paper ball and breathed a sigh of relief. Jiang Ning's face turned pale. When Liu Yang saw their expressions, she knew she was onto something. It was definitely Zhuang Yang. Sure enough, when the paper ball was opened, Zhuang Yang's name was on it. And Xinrong and Fang Chen. Jiang Ning and Ling Xian. Liu Yang and Zhuang Yang. This result can be said to be a happy ending for everyone. Jiang Ning's fans breathed a sigh of relief, and the barrage of comments was full of expressions of gratitude. Luckily Jiang Ning didn't pick Zhuang Yang. I hope Zhuang Yang will stay away from actress Jiang from now on. Just lock it up like this, don't let Jiang Ning and Zhuang Yang form a team. The fans didn't notice the lost expression on their idol's face at all. Seeing this result, Xia Wan breathed a sigh of relief, but when the camera focused on Liu Yang's expression, her heart seemed to suddenly jump up. She seemed to see a hint of possessiveness in Liu Yang's eyes just now. Was it an illusion? After washing the dishes, the next issue was sleeping. And Xinrong acted like a spoiled little princess and asked for a single room. The men simply played rock paper scissors. Zhuang Yang was lucky and finally got a single room. In the afternoon, the director did not assign any tasks, but instead gave each person some money to allow them to do whatever they wanted in the afternoon. In such a remote place, I don't know how to spend the money. Ling Xian suggested, why don't we go to town and see what to eat, and then buy some to stock up for breakfast. Zhuang Yan was also planning to go to the town to take a look, so he nodded and agreed. Ling Xian shouted to everyone, Zhuang Yang and I are going to the town to buy vegetables. Do you want to go? We are back to the classic scene again. This grocery shopping process is just like the division of labor in cooking. There is a lot to learn when working together and it is easy to create sparks. Let's go together. Liu Yang said. Jiang Ning followed up by saying, I'm going to town to buy some things. I'm not going. And Xinrong refused, what is there to see in town? I might as well sleep at home. Fang Chen has a crush on Xinrong, so he naturally won't give up this opportunity to be alone. You guys go ahead, Xinrong and I will stay at home. Chapter 20, Don't Look Back. Although many people have changed their opinion of Zhuang Yan now, they still don't want to see him hyping up other people's relationships. The production team arranged a van, and Liu Yang asked, "Who's driving?" "Jiang Ning, I can't." "Let me drive." Ling Xian took the car keys. Zhuang Yan got on the passenger seat without saying a word, causing Ling Xian to look at him more. At first, he thought Zhuang Yan would sit in the back next to a female guest. Zhuang Yan didn't dare. He couldn't afford to offend either Liu Yang or Jiang Ning. He just wanted to stay away from them. Zhuang Yang fastened his seat belt. Ling Xian asked, "Does our show have a segment for guessing occupations?" "Zhuang Yang, I haven't heard the director say that, so I guess not." Two of the female guests are public figures, and Zhuang Yang is also often on the hot searches. Zhuang Yang asked, "Ling Xian, what do you do?" Ling Xian replied, "I play esports, so I can be considered an internet celebrity anchor. What about you?" Zhuang Yang, "I am now unemployed and have no job." "I understand. You are the heir." Zhuang Yang's reputation as a second-generation rich man is known to their whole network. The Zhuang family is rich and worth billions. Who else can the Zhuang family give his son to if not Zhuang Yang? Zhuang Yang participated in the show just for fun, or as netizens said, he wanted to test Xia Wan. What do you know? Zhuang Yang knew from his expression that he was overthinking. "I have no inheritance." Ling Xian seemed not to hear it. He glanced behind him and asked Liu Yang, "Liu Yang, what is your job?" "Just like Zhuang Yang, an unemployed vagrant." Judging from Liu Yang's temperament, it is clear that she is not an ordinary person, and Shinrong has already given important information. She is Xia Wan's aunt and a real rich girl. It is estimated that she will inherit the family property through shares like Zhuang Yang. Ling Xian asked tentatively, "Are you familiar with Zhuang Yang?" Liu Yang stared at Zhuang Yang's snow-white neck and said, "We'll get to know each other better in the future." Jiang Ning, who was sitting next to Liu Yang, saw it clearly. Liu Yang's expression was very subtle, with a smile on the corner of her lips. She stared at Zhuang Yang with naked and straightforward eyes, without any regard for the people around her. This scene was seen by the audience. Liu Yang's eyes look like he wants to eat someone. "Mom, I saw a female demon. I don't know why, but I feel like Zhuang Yang is like Tang Monk at this moment. Female donor, please respect yourself." It took 20 minutes to drive from the village entrance to the town. There were not many people in the town in the afternoon. After finding the vegetable market and buying a bunch of vegetables, Zhuang Yang took the time to observe the terrain. "Ling Xian, is there anything else you want to buy?" The town was more boring than he thought. There was nothing to buy except vegetables. It was 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the sun was shining brightly outside, the temperature was 35 degrees, and it was hot and stuffy. He just wanted to finish his shopping and go home early. Zhuang Yang pointed inside and said, "I'm going to go for a walk inside. It's hot, so you guys go back first." "Then how are you going to get back?" Zhuang Yang replied, "I'll find a car to take me back later. Most of the cars in the town are motorcycles." He saw a lot of motorcycles at the intersection just now. "What about you?" Ling Xian asked Liu Yang and Jiang Ning. "I want to go shopping again. I finally got out." "Me too." Since the two female guests were not leaving, Ling Xian didn't want to leave alone. "I'll wait for you in the car. Ask the staff to call if you have anything." He was not a fool. He could obviously feel that the two people wanted to find an opportunity to be alone with Zhuang Yang. It is impossible not to be jealous, but there is nothing you can do about the feeling of affection. If it doesn't exist, it doesn't exist. He looked at Zhuang Yang meaningfully and said silently, "Brother, you are so lucky." Zhuang Yang was confused when he received Ling Xian's gaze. Not only did he want to go shopping alone, he also didn't want to be with anyone else. Liu Yang and Jiang Ning were people he couldn't afford to offend. So, Zhuang Yang ran away without saying a word. Zhuang Yang came to the town to buy some clothes for himself. He didn't bring many clothes with him. Considering that he was in the countryside and according to the nature of the program, he might be assigned farm work next, so it wouldn't hurt to buy a few more cheap clothes. Zhuang Yang bought a sun hat, mosquito repellent, and sleeves. As for clothes, he picked up an old man's shirt. It was a bit ugly, but it was cool to wear and he didn't feel bad if it got torn or dirty. "The blue one suits you." Zhuang Yang turned around and saw Jiang Ning coming over at some point. She stared at the blue sleeveless vest in his hand. I remember you liked to wear this style of sportswear when you played basketball. Zhuang Yan put down the blue one in his hand and chose a black and grey one. I don't like it now. Jiang Ning turned off the microphone and asked in a hoarse voice, Zhuang Yang, are you still blaming me? Zhuang Yang shook his head. There is no such thing as strange or not when it comes to love, there is only whether it is suitable or not. He and Jiang Ning are not suitable. He and Jiang Ning had indeed known each other since childhood. They went to elementary school together, entered junior high school together, and were admitted to the same high school together. They had never been separated until their senior year of high school. That was a long time ago. Now when he saw Jiang Ning, he recalled his first love in his youth. At that time, both of them were 18 years old. After the college entrance examination, they naturally got together. They agreed to apply to the same university and enjoy a wonderful university life, from falling in love to getting married. But reality is often not as good as imagined. After the college entrance examination, Jiang Ning was unexpectedly spotted by a film crew and invited to participate in a roadshow. At that time, Jiang Ning was looking for a summer job. She thought the salary was good and the work was easy, so she just went. Her outstanding acting talent made her noticed by the director. During the roadshow, Jiang Ning also fell in love with acting, so she changed her application form. Everyone has their own aspirations. Everyone has different dreams and preferences. Zhuang Yang fully supports Jiang Ning's choice, but he cannot accept that Jiang Ning lied to him and concealed the truth. It was not until a week before the freshman reported that he learned that Jiang Ning had temporarily changed his choice. But they didn't break up at that time. The two universities were more than 2,000 kilometers apart, so they became a long-distance relationship. At first, Zhuang Yan was confident that love could overcome all difficulties and distance was nothing, but he underestimated 2,000 kilometers and overestimated Jiang Ning's feelings for him. When she was a freshman in college, Jiang Ning signed with an agency. With her outstanding looks, she has gained tens of thousands of fans. She began to frequently read scripts and wanted to perform well in every scene. With the broadcast of her first drama, she became famous, and with it came the price of fame. As an actress who has just debuted, it is essential to maintain a solid fan base. The company wanted her to maintain her single image, and her agent advised her to break up. Faced with the choice between love and career, Jiang Ning chose career. During that time, whenever Zhuang Yan went online, he would see the couple of Jiang Ning and another male actor. Although their relationship is fake, they can show their affection openly, which is more real than him being a real boyfriend. Everyone says that they are a good match, and there are a lot of CP pictures and short essays on the internet. Zhuang Yang knew that this was Jiang Ning's job, but he couldn't accept the thought that Jiang Ning would show off her affection with different male actors in different occasions in the future. Therefore, after Jiang Ning proposed to break up, Zhuang Yang's first feeling was relief. He had tried hard and understood this relationship, but reality is reality, and there were too many problems between them to be solved. Zhuang Yang was very gentle but also decisive. After the breakup, he deleted everything about Jiang Ning and completely eliminated this person from his life. He blocked Jiang Ning's text messages and all information about her on the internet. He began to focus on studying and preparing for the postgraduate entrance examination in order to realize his dream. Until he met Xia Wan, it is said that the fastest way to forget someone is to get into a new relationship, and this is really true. 2 years after the breakup, Zhuang Yang had already forgotten about Jiang Ning. Jiang Ning now asked him if he was still blaming her. It had been 50 years, and no matter how big the matter was, it would be reduced to triviality by time. Zhuang Yang answered her seriously, Jiang Ning, we've already passed that point. If you don't want me to die on the internet, just stay away from me. At the end, he even made a joke. Jiang Ning was so heartbroken that she had difficulty breathing. She would rather Zhuang Yang blame her than see him look relieved. Zhuang Yang, don't you really care about me? We have known each other for so many years, and now you have broken off the engagement. I am single too. Can you give me a chance? No one knew how happy she was when she knew that Zhuang Yang had broken off the engagement. She turned down all the notices and secretly participated in this program without the company's knowledge, just to reconcile with Zhuang Yang. They were the people who knew each other best. She knew his preferences, and no one was more